Fox Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
Warm day in Tampa, expected to get even warmer as the day moves on. Humidity about 58%. Key and active sport today, and the biggest name is Josh Freeman, who's been the starting quarterback since the middle of the 2010 season and missed only one game since then. Greg Schiano decided to make a change with his team 0-3. Tight end has been an issue for Tampa Bay. Dan Williams, his dad was killed in a traffic accident last week. Funeral was yesterday. He'll rejoin the team tomorrow. Rashad Johnson lost the tip of his finger in that New Orleans game last week.
The rookie Tyrann Mathieu will step in to fill that void left by Rashad Johnson.
The Cardinals have won the coin toss, elected to receive. Javier Arenas is deep to receive the kick of Michael Kanan. And the Bucs and Cardinals are underway. Arenas, 7 yards deep, takes a knee. And the veteran Carson Palmer, the team went east, went to Florida, and worked out in Bradenton all week long.
Well, Carson thought that's going to pay dividends. Obviously playing New Orleans last week, staying East Coast, keeping the team off those long flights back-to-back weeks.
What does he face today in this Tampa Bay defense?
Well, a very fast, somewhat light up front, but a hard-hitting, aggressive Tampa Bay defense, led by their head coach, Greg Schiano.
Rashard Mendenhall, the running back. Blitz coming, pressure, and they got him. Gerald McCoy, the defensive tackle, burst through and got to Carson Palmer on the first play of the game.
Well, Gerald McCoy, this is the way he wants to start off this game. Pressure lined up right in here. You see him. The big guy's going to get going. Listen, this is just a poor job. This was a scheme breakdown by the Arizona Cardinals. 93 is the point of emphasis today on this defensive front for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Untouched, unblocked, sack number 1 of the game.
10th sack given up this season by the Arizona Cardinals. Loss of 8 on the play. 2nd and 18. Everybody out, swinging out to Mendenhall. He dropped it. So the Cardinals not looking sharp to start the game. Check out the rest of their offensive unit. Jim Dre, Rob Hausler, 2 tight ends. We'll see a lot of 3 wide receivers with Andre Roberts joining Floyd and Larry Fitzgerald. There's the offensive line. The key man will be Levi Brown. He's had a couple of bad games. He's had 1 good game.
This offensive line has to play collectively a lot better than they have in the first 3 weeks.
4 wide receivers in. And they split the running back. Ellington has juggled and held on to by Andre Ellington, but he's brought down at the 19-yard line, way short of the first down by the middle linebacker, Mason Foster.
Well, great play by Mason. This is a screen play that they've been trying to get working for the last 2 weeks. It's a simple middle screen. Andre Ellington kind of fakes out to the left flat and then dives back under the offensive lineman, releasing down the field. Good job by Tampa Bay in this defense.
That's Eric Page back deep to receive the punt of Dave Zastudil. Page has a long punt return of 28 yards this season. Long kick by Zastudil. Backs up Page. He drops it, picks it up, and has a little room to maneuver. Gets back up to the 34-yard line. Here come the Tampa Bay Buccaneers with 23-year-old rookie out of North Carolina State, Mike Lennon, taking over as the starting quarterback. He's 6'6", 225, long, lanky, and they say he's got a good arm and has good accuracy.
Well, the arm, the accuracy, we'll see if that's under question today. The arm is strong. The biggest thing he's going to have to digest today, Sam, is the speed of the game. A lot of preseason reps. This is a totally different speed, regular season to preseason.
From the 34, 2 backs in the backfield. Doug Martin, second leading rusher in the NFL, gets up to the 35, gain of a yard on the play. Jasper Brinkley with the tackle. Take a look at the Bucs offense. They've got a couple of wide receivers that were nursing injuries all week long. Vincent Jackson, rib injury. Mike Williams, a hamstring. They've got a big, strong offensive line.
Carl Nix, a former teammate of mine in New Orleans Saints. This is a big, strong man that really sets the tone on that offensive line that wants to run the ball.
And the former Olympic sprinter, Jeff Dempson, in the lineup, number 32, his NFL debut. Glennon hit as he throws, trying to get it to the fullback, Eric Lorick. So quickly, Darnell Dockett comes in and hits Mike Glennon.
Well, Darnell needs a lot more of that today. And speaking of Darnell, he's going to be active, but don't forget about Calais Campbell. Very, very big, long, active D lineman. These linebackers, fast and active, but the injuries have hurt this linebacking core.
Here's that first play.
Well, Darnell Dockett, big shoulder to the ribs of a very tall quarterback. That's going to be the game plan today. Pressure, hits, and sacks.
Here's 3rd and 9. Glennon gets time and completes it to Kevin Ogletree. Man, he worked with a lot in preseason. He didn't work with the starters. Ogletree, the former Dallas Cowboy. It's a first down on a gain of 12.
Well, it's all going to start with protection.
Number 79 is eligible on the play. Number 79 is eligible.
That's another offensive tackle, Jamon Meredith, that they bring in as a tight end. We got power to the left side. And here's Doug Martin. No running room there. Great job by the Cardinals up front. That's a loss of a couple on the play. Jasper Brinkley, the inside linebacker, and Jeremiah Bell in on the tackle.
Well, Jeremiah is going to be very active today. This Tampa Bay is a run-first team. They want to run the ball. They want to set the tone. And speaking of a rookie quarterback, that's the best way to get him comfortable. If you can run the ball consistently, first, second down, manageable third down distances, that's where Greg Schiano and his team will be successful today.
2 tight ends in for the Bucs, Nate Byam and Tim Wright. Glennon, short drop. Gets it out to Tim Wright, no gain on the play. Aggressive work by the Cardinals defense. The rookie safety, Tyrann Mathieu, on the tackle.
Mike Glennon, you'll see, this is an easy pass. Trying to get some free yards here on second down. The ball gets out quick. Good protection. That protection is going to be key today for him. They do not want this rookie quarterback taking hits early and often.
Here's 3rd and 12. They have to get to the Arizona 43. Brian Leonard is in as a running back. Number 30. Glennon out of the shotgun. Here comes the blitz, and they got him. Jeremiah Bell, the veteran safety, comes flying through and sacks the rookie Mike Glennon.
You're going to see this is man defense. This is what Todd Bowles wants to play. They're going to be aggressive. Jeremiah Bell is going to fly in here, but you're seeing the guys come from everywhere. This is where Mike Glennon has to be spot on perfect. They had more guys than they could pick up. This is a great job by Todd Bowles, your defensive coordinator for the Arizona Cardinals, dialing up a pressure, long distance third down situation. You got to give them time. They got after him quickly.
Michael Kanan to punt. Patrick Peterson is back deep. High kick toward the sideline as they try to keep it away from Peterson, the very dangerous punt returner. The ball goes out of bounds, angled out at the 30-yard line. And the Cardinals on offense when we come back.
Today's game on Fox, sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com.
Back in Tampa, we spoke with Bruce Arians, the head coach of the Arizona Cardinals, yesterday. He said he wants more chunk plays. What does he mean by that?
Well, he wants the shots down the field. I mean, he wants pass plays of 21-plus yards. And, yeah, everybody wants chunk yards, but it really sets up their run game, their play-action game. Everything feeds off hitting those deep balls.
From the 30-yard line. Short drop. Palmer gets it out to Michael Floyd. Couple of blockers. And he gets up across the 35-yard line. They'll spot it back at the 34. A gain of 4 on the play.
Well, they want to work the hands, get the hands of their big wide receivers. Malcolm Floyd coming in motion there, pop back out, and then you get Hausler and Dre, your 2 tight ends out in front of them. This is a nice little pickup on first down. 4 yards, manageable situations are what both these quarterbacks need today.
Rashard Mendenhall, the running back, 2 tight ends in. Palmer goes over the middle to Jim Dre, one of those tight ends. First down, Arizona up at the 44-yard line. Dakota Watson, the linebacker, made the stop, a gain of 10 for the Cardinals.
I like the check down by Carson Palmer. When he describes Bruce Arians' offense, check downs and touchdowns is what they want.
Little hurry-up offense here. 3 wide receivers left.
Here we go. Blue 23.
The handoff to Mendenhall. He's got a little room to run. And the ball popped loose, but they rule he's down by contact at the 49-yard line. He gained 5. Adrian Claiborne took him down.
Here's the tail end of this run right here. And you can see, you know what, Sam? I couldn't see the right knee. Carson Palmer's being the great veteran quarterback, getting him up to the line of scrimmage before Greg Schiano and his staff can figure out if that ball was out.
They get the play off. It did count. Mendenhall straight ahead. Lost the football again. And this time the Bucs have it. Gerald McCoy, the defensive tackle, picks it up and is brought down at the Arizona 42-yard line. A big turnover.
Well, there's no question about this one, Sam. This ball is out. It's a great run by Richard. You see him fighting for extra yards. That ball high and tight, just not good enough. Big Gerald McCoy scoops the ball up. You see the big man running down the field.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by Bud Light, official beer sponsor of the NFL.
Talk about your leaders on defense. Gerald McCoy has stepped up for Tampa Bay.
Yes, a sack to open the game, and then scoops up that fumble of Richard Mendenhall and takes it for a few yards.
The Bucs start from the Arizona 41-yard line. Mike Glennon, the quarterback. Doug Martin, the running back. Glennon fires, and it's off the hands of Ogletree and incomplete.
Well, and here's the fumble that really set up this great field position for Mike Glennon. You see the ball. There's no defensive contact for Richard Mendenhall. Just a little loosey-goosey with the handle on the ball. Runs into Larry Fitzgerald. Ball's out clean. And here's what you love about Bruce Arians. You see the constant communication. He knows he's got a veteran back. Love on him a little bit. Keep his confidence up. A little vote of encouragement by the head coach.
They were together in Pittsburgh, and Bruce had a big hand in bringing him here to Arizona. On second down, Doug Martin turns the corner, picks up a couple of good blocks, and gets inside the 30 to the 29. Doug Martin, who came into the game averaging just under 100 yards per game rushing.
Well, there was a bunch of good blocks on that one, but Carl Nix, the guard, you see him pinned up, gets his big body in the way, finishes the block on Calais Campbell, which is no easy matchup. Calais, long, athletic, very instinctual. Carl Nix, and then Doug Martin. What can we say about the guy?
You know Carl Nix. He blocked for you in New Orleans.
I've never met a bigger, stronger man.
Glennon out of the shotgun from the 29. Has time. And completes it to Mike Williams.
Sam, you know what I like about this drive? First down a minute ago. They throw. This is a 61% run on first down team. Very situational in the sense of what they want to do. You see our young gun quarterback sit in the pocket, good play action fake, and then we know the arm strength exists, good reads. Hooking up with those wide receivers that he's been working with in practice and preseason.
Gain of 14, first down at the Arizona 15-yard line. Eric Lorigan is fullback, leading the way for Doug Martin. Martin down to the 7-yard line. He gained 8 on the play. We talked about chunk yardage. Now Tampa Bay with chunk yardage.
Well, when you talk about Greg Schiano, here's your fullback right here. This is what they want to do. They want power football.
Hurry up offense. We went to live, and Martin going straight ahead was stopped for no gain. Maybe a loss of a yard on the play back to the 8-yard line. So it'll bring up a 3rd and 3 for the Bucs.
Well, you see confidence in this offensive staff. Mike Sullivan, your OC for Tampa Bay. A little hurry up, a little tempoed offense for the young quarterback.
Looked like Martin was shaken up a little bit on the play. Here's 3rd and 3. 3 wide receivers to the right. Glennon with time. He throws to Williams. Touchdown! Save that football. Mike Glennon's first NFL touchdown pass.
Well, this is the man-to-man defense. Glennon sees it quick. You see Williams locked up Gerard Powers. Quick slant in the red zone. Todd Bowles, the defensive coordinator for the Arizona Cardinals. This is what you're going to get. If you manned up Jimmy Graham last week in the red zone from the New Orleans Saints, these wide receivers can bank on man-to-man coverage all day long from Todd Bowles and his defensive staff.
Great drive from Mike Glennon and the Bucs after the turnover. Ryan Lindell's extra point is good. Tampa Bay Buccaneers with a 7-0 lead.
Well, Mike Glennon's obviously thrilled. A good start. Take advantage of the fumble. A little dap, little handshake to your wide receiver.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by Jaguar. See the new model year lineup at your local Jaguar retailer today. By Moto X, designed by you, assembled in the USA. And by State Farm, it pays to double check. Talk to your agent today.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers trying to break a 4-game home losing streak dating back to last season. Mike Glennon gets them on the board first with the 41-yard touchdown drive. 6 plays and the 8-yard pass to Mike Williams. Michael Kanan, long kick through the end zone for the touchback.
Well, here's
Tampa
Mike
Bay
Glennon.
Buccaneers.
Yeah, this is beautiful. He reads the pressure, sticks it on his man-to-man coverage. Mike Williams is thankful for the 7 points.
Welcome back to Tampa. This is Molly McGrath. Before the game, Mike Glennon told me that Dan Orlovsky, the backup quarterback, has helped him out the most. After that touchdown, Dan Orlovsky, the first one to give him a nice little tap on the back.
Thanks, Molly. They were watching film together at 6 a.m. on Wednesday here when he learned that he was going to be the starting quarterback. 3 wide receivers in. Rashard Mendenhall, who fumbled the ball away. His last carry gets 2 on the play. Mark Barron, who was nursing a little bit of a hamstring issue and didn't practice on Friday, made the tackle. Again, no huddle offense for Arizona. Empty backfield. Flag on the play. They stopped the play. Looks like a false start against the Cardinals.
False start. Offense, number 73. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Time for a game break. Let's go to L.A. to Kurt Menefee.
And we go to London, where the Vikings are starting a new quarterback. Matt Castle in for the injured Christian Ponder. Hooks up with Greg Jennings. First score as a Viking for Jennings. 70-yard touchdown against the Steelers. And they are up 10-0 in the first quarter. Sam and Heath, so far in the NFL, at least the quarterback, change is good today.
You're right about that, Kurt. How about Matt Castle?
Well, another former teammate of mine. Had a great year in 2008 when Brady went down. Happy for him today.
Mendenhall on the swing pass. Gets up to the 25-yard line. That'll bring up a 3rd down and a little over 5. They'll spot it actually on the 24-yard line.
I like Bruce Arians giving Rashard the run on 1st down, 2 yards. Obviously, the 2nd down pass didn't pick up too much, but get the guy back involved, build that confidence. Even your veteran running backs will lose confidence when you put that ball on the turf.
Alfonso Smith is in the backfield with Carson Palmer. Rob Hausler is the tight end with 3 wide receivers. Pressure by McCoy. That pass dropped off the hands of Michael Floyd, trying to make a one-hand catch. Big-time pressure by Gerald McCoy again.
Well, Greg Schiano is going to dial up his pressures. You're going to see a few different things coming. Linebacker pressure as well. You see a good pickup, but you can't have Smith, your running back, picking up big Gerald McCoy.
Oh, man.
Michael Floyd, almost a spectacular catch. Carson hung in there as long as he could to deliver that ball.
Dave Zastudil's punt. Taken by Page at the 20-yard line. Couple of good moves by Eric Page. And gets about a 10-yard return up to the 30-yard line. Things going right for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They lead it 7-0 behind the rookie quarterback, Mike Glennon. The Bucs have been using a balanced offense, 5 running plays, 7 pass attempts. Glennon 4 for 6, 34 yards, was sacked once.
Well, and I like the pass on first downs. Mix up what they're kind of become known for, which is running the ball on first and second down.
3 wide receivers. Doug Martin carries up to the 34-yard line. Fox tonight, do you have what it takes, Heath, to survive the return of animation domination? 2 epic hours that'll give all your senses a workout. Don't miss the season premiere of your animation domination favorites. It all starts when Kristen Wiig guest stars with The Simpsons tonight on Fox. You don't want to miss that.
Can't miss it. Can't miss it.
2 tight ends in for the Bucs. On second down, the play fake by Glennon. Rolls and throws, and it's caught. Up at the 48-yard line by Vincent Jackson for a first down. Jackson had a rib injury. They were concerned about him. Didn't practice all week.
Well, this guy, he's a proven player in this business. He's going to drive, push, push, push. Patrick Peterson in coverage. He made Patrick open up his hips before he came out of his route. This was a great job by Vincent.
Bucs have 5 first downs in the game to only 1 for Arizona. Eric Lorigan at fullback for Tampa Bay. Williams motions. A little confusion on the handoff. Martin trying to get outside. Is tripped up. Good effort on the play by Matt Shaughnessy.
This is some of the stuff you get with a quarterback change and just a young player. You'll see the handoff. Normally, you rep this time and time again. Glennon comes out, a half a yard in the ball handoff situation being crucial. Great job by Martin, hold on to the ball. And then great play by Shaughnessy there at the end. He saves what could have been a big run for Doug Martin.
Doug Martin, 7 carries, 25 yards. 2nd and 7 for the Bucs. Glennon, deep drop, plenty of time, nobody open downfield. So he goes short to Tim Wright, the tight end, and actually lost a yard on the play. Bucs would like to strengthen their tight end position, but they've had problem. Luke Stocker was put on IR, so they're going with Tim Wright, a rookie out of Rutgers, a free agent rookie, and Nate Byam, 4th-year man out of Pitt. Tom Crabtree, used to be in Green Bay, still out with an injury. Ryan Leonard in the backfield now on 3rd and 8. Pressure on Glennon. He gets rid of it, incomplete. Fans wanted a flag as Jeremiah Bell was covering Vincent Jackson.
Well, this is Todd Bowles drawing up another pressure. Mike Glennon, you're going to see a couple different loops from this side, and then we're also getting a DB from the other side. You see Tyrann Mathieu gets in there late. Great job by Carl Nix saving a hit off his quarterback by a late adjustment.
So the Cardinals defense stiffens and forces a punt. Patrick Peterson back deep. Michael Kanan with the strong leg. Flag on the play. High kick. And Peterson waves for a fair catch at the 17-yard line. We'll check out the flag. Gene Steratore, 8th year as a referee, 11th year as an NFL official, and one of the best in the league. He's our referee today.
It's giving Greg Schiano a little prep on the call to see what the decision will be.
Bruce Arians with a long look from his side of the field. Greg Schiano in his 2nd year as head coach of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Legal formation. Defense number 56 is lined up over the center. That penalty is declined. First down, Tampa Bay.
Mike Glennon has been spectacular.
First down.
You see him jogging out early. This guy's amped up. Finds Ogletree, a guy he's worked with. Mike Williams, another strike through the pocket. And then on the touchdown, he found his man coverage. Thing of beauty. The young guy's he's been impressive so far today, Sam.
Mike Glennon learning his lessons well. 3 North Carolina State quarterbacks starting in the NFL this weekend. Phillip Rivers.
Russell Wilson.
Russell Wilson with Seattle. And here is Mike Glennon, who succeeded Russell Wilson at NC State.
I think Wisconsin likes to claim Russell Wilson.
That's right. But Russell was at NC State for a couple of years. Arizona first down from the 17. Palmer on the play fake, has time. Short to Mendenhall, who gets up to the 26-yard line. Jonathan Casillas with the tackle, a gain of 8 on the play.
Again, good job by Carson. They're going to speed up this tempo here, but you know, Bruce wants smart throws, which they call checkdowns, easy completions, but then they want to take their shots, but those checkdowns are crucial.
What are your thoughts of this hurry-up offense and no huddle for Arizona?
Well, you know what? Despite they're the team trying to deal with the humidity, I like it because it keeps the defensive personnel trapped on the field. And when you've got a quarterback like Carson, it gives you a lot of ability to manage the play inside and out each time.
At time, an outstanding defensive play by Levante David. That is Vic So'oto, who was signed as a free agent this week because of injuries at linebacker. He was hurt on a special teams play, and he's going to the locker room.
Well, injuries specifically to the outside linebacker position, which is crucial in Todd Bowles' 3-4 scheme. They're now down 4 outside linebackers from last week.
3rd and a long 1 for Arizona. 4 wide receivers in the game. Everybody out. Palmer throws, incomplete. Try to get it to Jerron Brown, and Levante David broke it up.
Most time when you have a linebacker on a wide receiver, Jerron Brown, you've got the mismatch. You'll see Carson, he's going to try to stick it in here to Brown. The ball's a little bit behind him, allows Levante David just to mess up the vision just enough where Brown can't make that snag.
Levante David, a 2nd-round draft pick last year, is really off to a great start this season.
He is absolutely spectacular.
Eric Page waves to let that punt drop, and it's down at the 36-yard line of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And here in Tampa on a warm afternoon, the Buccaneers with a good start from the rookie quarterback, Mike Glennon. I mean, he doesn't seem nervous or flustered at all. He's handling it pretty well.
He's handled it very well. I mean, Darnell Dockett's gotten in close a few times. Todd Bowles, the defensive coordinator, mixing up blitzes, but he's staying poised in the pocket. Nice strikes down the field.
We haven't seen Molly today. She's working on her suntan.
Yes, she is. It's nice and hot.
Oh, boy, what a day this has been. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers trying to turn things around. At 0-3, they needed to shake things up, and Greg Schiano made the big move during the week.
Kick, personal foul, low block, number 33 of the return team. 15-yard penalty from the end of the kick. First down, Tampa Bay.
That sets Tampa Bay back 15 yards on the special teams penalty. But for Greg Schiano, tough call, tough football decision, but he said, you know what, I've had a lot of tougher things go on in my football career than changing quarterbacks.
And he's the man in control, calling the shots. He feels and senses this team day in and day out. He knows what he had in Mike Glennon. So we're going to see how this pans out throughout the course of the day, but they couldn't be happier with the start they've gotten.
What are your thoughts on Glennon from what you see so far?
Well, the compliments coming into the game was that he'll stand in the pocket, he'll take shots, and he'll deliver strikes down the field. And that's just been proven and backed up so far here today.
Jeff Demps, the former Olympic sprinter, in his NFL debut, turning the corner. And a nice gain. They picked him up in a trade from the New England Patriots.
Well, you want speed on the edge, and that's what they're able to do. They run the little motion. He gets that ball. He hits the edge. The one thing he liked about the track guy, he actually set up a few blocks around the corner. Nice run, good play call.
End of the first quarter, Bucs leading 7-0. Sam Rosen, Heath Evans, Molly McGrath here in Tampa as we start the second quarter. Greg Schiano talking things over with Dave Wanstead, former NFL head coach and now special teams coordinator. Bucs start from the 35, the toss to Doug Martin. Try to turn the corner, but the Cardinals were there to drop him for a loss. Good defensive play. Mike Glennon dreamt about this since he was a kid playing flag football and was Troy Aikman. He wanted to beat Troy Aikman, but look at the numbers. Put up great numbers at NC State. Did a good job in college. Succeeding, as we mentioned, Russell Wilson.
Yes, and he played well. Game against Clemson, I remember watching, lit up the skies. Played well against Florida State one time as well.
And he got a text from Russell Wilson this week.
Yes.
Congratulating him on taking over as the starting quarterback.
Russell's one of the finest young men in this business, as well as a spectacular player.
2nd and 13. Glennon gets time, swings it out to Doug Martin. Makes a nice move. Martin gets up to the 43-yard line. Busy day in the NFL. Here's Kurt Menefee with an update.
Oh, Kansas City unbeaten, Giants winless. It's going that way so far. Alex Smith, Sean McGrath with a touchdown. That ends a 98-yard drive. Chiefs up 7-0 as they start the second quarter, Sam and Heath.
Thanks, Kurt. Tough start to the season for the Giants. Meanwhile, Andy Reid doing a fabulous job in Kansas City.
You knew if health wasn't a concern in Kansas City, the roster was locked and loaded. Andy Reid's proven his worth in this business as a head coach.
There's a 3rd down and less than 2. Martin gets the first down. Good hole opened up front. Gain of 5 on the play. They've got a big, strong left sideline line.
Yes, they do. They don't get any better. So here you go. It's just inside zone. You'll see big Carl Nicks. They're getting off, getting pushed. It doesn't get much bigger and better than that. You see Davin Joseph finishing off his block at the end. Great job. And this is what Greg Schiano, this is what he wants to be. He wants to be known as a physical, dominant run game first and foremost.
3 wide receivers in. First down at the 49. Jumping across was Gerald McCoy. And it's going to be offside.
Encroachment.
Calais Campbell,
Defense.
excuse me.
Number 93. 5-yard penalty. First down.
I got my 93s mixed up.
Hey, well, they're both beasts, I can tell you that. They're both good. There's no slouches wearing 93 today for either one of these teams.
And Calais Campbell. The defensive line for the Cardinals went to the funeral of Thomas Williams, the father of Dan Williams, starting nose tackle of the Cardinals. The funeral was yesterday in Memphis. Michael Bidwell, the president of the team, flew the players from the defensive line over. We go down to the sideline to Molly McGrath. Molly.
Thanks, Sam. Arizona's Vic So'oto was slow to get up off the field after a punt, and you saw him walk off the field with a towel on his head. Well, bad news for Arizona. He's being evaluated for a concussion, and so his return is questionable. That's yet another Cards linebacker potentially injured. Bad news for them. Sam?
Oh, you're right about that. They lost 3 last week. Sam Acho, Lorenzo Alexander.
Yes. Alex Okafor.
And Alex Okafor.
Their draft pick out of Texas.
On 2nd down, Glennon's pass batted up in the air, and a diving effort for the catch by Mike James, the backup running back.
Mike James, a running back, a rookie running back out of Miami. Good job sticking with the play. And this is where Glennon, this is where the speed adjustments. You see the tip ball, the players flash in front of his face. That was Matt Shaughnessy, the new outside starting linebacker for the Cardinals. Those are things that Mike will adjust to. This speed picks up. There's no comparison to preseason and regular season football.
3rd and 6 for Tampa Bay. Glennon sprints to the right, looks, throws, almost intercepted. Dropped by Carlos Dansby, had it in his hands, and couldn't hold on.
What an interesting play. You'll give Mike Sullivan the win versus Todd Bowles in the play department call. You're going to see the blitz coming over here, but what's Mike Glennon doing? He is going to roll away from the blitz. So you've got this blitz on 3rd down. John Abraham, look at the vet. He almost pulls down a very difficult pass. And again, your rookie, eyes tell everything. He's trying to stick a ball in there. He probably honestly just misjudged the athleticism of John Abraham.
The punt by Michael Kanan. They let it drop at the 5, goes into the end zone for the touchback. 3rd punt of the game for Kanan. Oh, Dansby went up. Oh, he just couldn't hold on.
Today's Game on Fox is sponsored by DirecTV. If you call yourself a sports fan, you've got to get DirecTV. By Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And by Pizza Hut. Prep for game day by ordering online from Pizza Hut. Make it great.
Mike Glennon with Mike Sullivan, the offensive coordinator, and Dan Orlovsky, who is the backup quarterback today. Josh Freeman inactive after being demoted from his starting position. Arizona's offense hasn't gotten going. They've got Patrick Peterson in, and he splits out to the left side. Off the play fake. Palmer wants to go deep. Goes short instead to Andre Ellington out of the backfield. And the rookie running back dives forward, looking for the first down, and it looks like he's got it.
Well, Carson does a good job, again, managing the down and distance. He drops back. You've got Patrick Peterson working on Jonathan Banks, a rookie corner. He knows that's not there quickly. And then what does he do? He finds another rookie, Andre Ellington, out of the backfield. Great receiver for a running back.
No huddle offense. Now we've got that matchup with Larry Fitzgerald against Darrelle Revis on the far side. On first down, it's Andre Ellington bouncing it outside, trying to beat the safety, and Deshaun Golston takes him out of bounds in Bucs territory.
Here's the thing that you just can't take credit for as a coach or a play caller or anything else. Andre Ellington, he's going to get this ball, and then this is just elusiveness and then speed. You don't get a great appreciation for it there, but Darrelle Revis came in to make an open field tackle. Andre Ellington, that's what they call breaking the ankle, Sam.
Longest run of the season for the Cardinals, 25 yards. Straight ahead, Ellington. That time gets back to the line of scrimmage. Time for another update. We're keeping Kurt Menefee very busy. Kurt?
We just want to keep you guys updated there, Sam. How about Matt Forte? 53-yard run against the Lions, his longest rushing touchdown since 2010, and it gives the Bears the lead in the fight for first place in the NFC North. Sam and Heath.
Thanks, Kurt. Bears playing well. That offense going under Mark Trestman. Rashard Mendenhall in at running back on 2nd and 10. Short drop by Palmer. Completes this one to Andre Roberts inside the 40. Short pickup, Jonathan Banks, the rookie out of Mississippi State. 2nd-round draft pick with the stop.
And you're going to see Deshaun Golston get in here and get a free hit on Carson Palmer. Good blitz design. This is the timing that this business demands of you. You can be a half a second late, good for a completion. Half a second earlier, it's a big sack.
Third downs, Arizona 0 for 3 in the game. 3rd and a long 4. Larry Fitzgerald on the left side. Revis is with him. Palmer goes the other way. It's batted away. Trying to get it to Rob Hausler, the tight end, and the middle linebacker, Mason Foster, with an outstanding play.
Well, they're going to try to get the ball to Rob Hausler. He's standing up right here on the end of the line. It's a very simple route, just a crossing, 4 or 5 yards. I would argue that it should have been deeper to start with. Force Mason Foster, your middle linebacker, to get depth, give more room for Carson Palmer to stick the ball in there.
Forced to punt. Arizona 0 for 4 on 3rd down conversions in the game. Big Zastadil with a high end-over-end punt. Fair catch, wait for it, the last moment by Eric Page at the 14-yard line. Tampa Bay Buccaneers holding on to that 7-0 lead. Glennon, 3rd-round draft pick of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 8 for 12, 60 yards, 1 touchdown in his NFL debut. And the Bucs start from their own 14-yard line. Short drop. Glennon wants to go deep. Puts it up, and it's incomplete. Well covered. Patrick Peterson on Vincent Jackson.
Well, I like the young gun quarterback taking a shot at Patrick Peterson. You obviously want to see him keep it in bounds. You got to give Big VJ a chance to bring that ball down. Vincent Jackson, big body, even against Patrick Peterson, who's just as fast and as physical. I've seen Vincent Jackson against my Patriots too many times come down with big plays in tough situations.
Brings up a 2nd and 10. The toss to Doug Martin. Nothing there. Good play by Jeremiah Bell, leading the way for the defense. In on the stop.
I can't draw you all the different guys coming, but this is Todd Bowles just dialing up blitzes to keep this young quarterback, kind of keep him guessing. So you see all the guys, you see the reset of the line of scrimmage, the penetration not only kills pass plays, it destroys run game.
There's Todd Bowles on the sideline, the defensive coordinator. Here's 3rd and 12 for the Buccaneers.
Not the position you want your young quarterback in.
Cardinals rush 4. That pass is complete to the tight end, Tim Wright. And he's got a first down. Good throw by the rookie, Mike Glennon.
Well, I'm not sure if there was a miscommunication. You have Vincent Jackson and Tim Wright in the same area. Tim Wright's on the inside. Patrick Peterson being the physical corner that he is. And then there at the end, Tim Wright, great grab by Mike Glennon, fired in there. Carlos Dansby on the coverage, created a little separation by Tim Wright in the route. Good job by this rookie quarterback.
That was one of those great play.
Good job.
Martin forced the other way. And the Cardinals doing a good job of jamming up Doug Martin.
Well, this is what you love. Bruce Arians wants a physical, dominant team. And you're going to see, we know what Doug Martin's capable of. This angle, you don't see the penetration that Doug has in his face. Matt Shaughnessy, great job of setting the edge, making him reverse his field. Good finish by this Arizona Cardinals defense.
His last 2 carries have been for minus yardage. Martin now 12 carries, 17 yards. So good job stopping the run by the Arizona Cardinals. On 2nd down, blitz from the outside by Dansby, and he got a piece of Mike Glennon to break up that pass attempt.
I like Mike Glennon speeding this up a bit. You'll see a lot of young quarterbacks that they'll wait, and make a bad play. Dansby's coming off the edge. He's going to be streaming. He's unblocked. And then, boom, Mike Glennon speeds the ball up. Good job. Manage the situation. Don't take a sack. You're already sitting at 2nd and 15. That need to be 3rd and 20.
They have to get to the 36-yard line for a first down now. On 3rd and 15, the blitz coming. He's trying to set up a screen pass, and Martin is taken down right away. Good play by Gerard Powers, the cornerback, stepping up. So good defensive series for the Arizona Cardinals.
Very good. The timing of the offensive line. You'll see Carl Nix. They're going to get out here, trying to get your center, Zuta, Carl Nix out in front. Doug Martin, great job by adjusting the ball and actually making the catch. Timing is everything on screenplays.
Tyrann Mathieu is back deep to receive this punt. Not Patrick Peterson. Mathieu standing near his 30-yard line. Michael Kanan aiming for the sideline, and the ball bounces back in favor of the Cardinals and bounced out of bounds. Cardinals trying to get their offense untracked. They trail 7-0.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by Cadillac.
Patrick Peterson not in on that last punt. They were working on him on the sideline.
Well, I've had that exercise done to me a few times too. He probably banged his elbow, kind of lit up a little nerve that fires down into your hand. Probably didn't have a lot of feeling in his hand to catch a punt.
Carson Palmer 7 for 11, 54 yards. Cardinals good field position, start for the 41-yard line. Let's go down to the sideline. Molly McGrath, what's going on?
Thanks, Sam. You just saw trainers working on Patrick Peterson's right arm, loosening it around a bit. It seems like he lost feeling in his arm, but they did say that he should be fine to go back in, so things look good for them. Sam?
Right, thanks, Molly. 2nd and 9 for the Cardinals. Rashard Mendenhall, the running back. Larry Fitzgerald motions. Palmer gets time and throws. That's broken up. Trying to get it to Michael Floyd, and Deshaun Goldson steps in to knock it away. Kurt Menefee is working double time. Kurt, what's happening?
Hey, keep an eye on Adrian Peterson. Nice move right over everybody and right away from everybody. 60-yard run against the Steelers. The Vikings had a 70-yard touchdown pass earlier to Greg Jennings, so right now they're up by 10 in London over the Steelers. Sam and Heath.
Both teams looking for their first win this season. Thanks, Kurt. Here's Patrick Peterson. He's okay. And back in, splitting out to the right side. On 3rd and 9. Palmer throws, and it's incomplete.
Great pressure again. Let's see, Levante David, what a skilled pass rushing linebacker. Takes a big shot at Carson Palmer. Still, a ball Carson delivered. Andre Ellington, the running back, split out, should have caught.
And again, the Cardinals 0 for 5 on third down conversions. 5th punt of the game for Dave Zastudil. Back deep is Eric Page. High, deep punt. Page lets it go. And the Cardinals watch it bounce out of bounds deep in Tampa Bay territory at the 6-yard line. Great punt by Dave Zastudil. Welcome to the NFL. Mike Glennon, his debut and first start, and he threw a touchdown pass to Mike Williams.
I think the highest praise I can give the rookie is that he's been consistently patient. He's taken what's been given. He hasn't forced things. He's been smart. He's delivered the ball on time, and he's actually gotten rid of it in times of pressure.
And we asked him, what's the most important thing for you to do in this game? He said, just manage the game.
Yes.
I try to be the hero.
And he was very clear that he just needed to do his job, and they would be just fine.
Bucs start from the 7. Doug Martin looking for some running room. Gets across the 10-yard line. A pickup of 3 on the play, and Carlos Dansby leads the way. Boy, Dansby has been playing well for the Cardinals.
Well,
thus far this season.
They were happy to get him back. Carlos Dansby is a fine, complete linebacker. Pass coverage, run stuffing ability. Listen, this run game at Tampa Bay is no joke, though. They'll take 3 yards on first down.
2nd and 7. 2 tight ends in. Byam and Wright. Wright is split out to the right side. Glennon, little pump fake, waits, goes to the safety valve. Doug Martin. And the Cardinals have him covered and take him down at the 14. A gain of 4 on the play. Dansby got a piece of him again for the tackle.
I like the poise here. This young quarterback, he stood in the pocket. You see Tim Wright, his tight end, split out to the right. His eyes go to the right side first and then pans all the way back across the field, going through his progressions, and then finds Doug Martin. Yes, it's only a 2-3 yard gain on 2nd down, but the managing capabilities of what we're seeing out of this quarterback so far, so good.
3 wide receivers. Brian Leonard in as the running back. Swing it out to Leonard, and he's got the first down. Good effort by Leonard. Brought down by the safety, the rookie Tony Jefferson made the stop.
Well, Doug Martin is a fine protection back as well, but Brian Leonard, 3rd down situations, you see him in there a lot. Sure hands out of the backfield. No pressure, no reason for him to stay in. Again, praising Mike Glennon. Take what's given to you. I mean, it's really the Bruce Arians way. He told Carson Palmer, check downs and touchdowns. That's what we've seen so far from Mike Glennon.
And the Bucs have converted 5 of 9 on 3rd down. 2 backs in the backfield. Martin is hit short of the line of scrimmage. Good job again up front by the Arizona Cardinals. Jeremiah Bell stepping up to make the tackle.
Yeah, Jeremiah flies in here. This is a good blitz again by Todd Bowles. He's really been mixing and matching today. Pass blitzes, run blitzes, very sound. They're going to get some man opportunities in this pass game. It'll be up for, you know, Mike Glennon to be able to deliver when need be.
3 wide receivers in. On 2nd and 12, it's Martin carrying. That's a good gain across the 20 up to the 23-yard line. As the Bucs happy to control the football, get something going on the ground as we come down to the 2-minute warning.
Well, Doug Martin, this is what you call a C-gap run. You're attacking the edge. That's where they go.
After the 2-minute warning, Arizona has called their full timeout of the half. There's a 30-second timeout with the game clock on.
Oh, 2 minutes, right, yep.
Back here in Tampa, prior to the 2-minute warning, reaching the 2-minute warning, Bruce Arians used one of his timeouts. They want to get the ball back, so officially 2:02 left in the first half as Bruce Arians talks things over with his quarterback, Carson Palmer. Here's a 3rd down play, 3rd and 5 for the Buccaneers. Ogletree in motion. Glennon gets time, completes to Ogletree. Very close to the first down. This will depend on the spot. We've officially reached the 2-minute warning with 1:56 left in the half. Back in Tampa, Mike Glennon, NFL debut. His team picked up a first down. Doug Martin has been an important part of the offense.
Yes, he's any quarterback's best friend, but especially a rookie. You see the toughness, the finishing ability. There's not a lot of flashiness that Doug Martin gives you, but he understands the concepts of the run game. He finishes. You see the 2 hands on the ball. For a second-year running back, the details of his game, very impressive.
Came into the game second to LaShawn McCoy of Philadelphia in rushing in the NFL. And it's been hard to pick up yards. It's been a defensive battle. Mike Glennon has been very good in his debut. 13 for 19, 87 yards. Finished off a 41-yard drive with a touchdown pass to Mike Williams. That's the only score of the game. Kevin Ogletree just made the first down on that last pass play. So the Bucs able to maintain possession. Everybody out. Glennon gets time and completes it. Up to the, there they're waving, incomplete. The big hit by Jeremiah Bell, and there's a flag on the play. Tim Wright, the tight end, made the initial catch, but the ball popped loose on the hit by Jeremiah Bell. Let's see.
I'm sure this will be contact to the head. This is where Sam, again, so frustrated for our defensive players in this business.
So Dansby pointing to his shoulder.
And it was clearly evident that Jeremiah Bell had his head cocked to the side. And truly, when Wright comes across the middle, I'm sure Jeremiah thought he was going to hit him in his back. As Wright catches the ball, kind of twist into Jeremiah Bell, and these judgment calls are just tough.
Let's take a look here.
Wright's getting off here. He's going to come dive across here. Jeremiah Bell was just slightly in your screen. Beautiful ball. And then it's just that bang, bang contact. Ball is caught. Jeremiah Bell is there to, you see the head to the side.
Personal foul. Unnecessary roughness hit on a defenseless receiver. Number 37 defense, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
The key here is they're going to, if there's a mistake, they're going to err on the side of player safety. If they have any question that it was a hit to the head, they're going to call it.
Well, if I have an issue with this, it's the side judge that threw the flag. Not a clear angle of, I think, the head angle of Jeremiah turning his head to the side. The back judge would have been the one that had the clearest view to make that call.
Yeah, the lengthy discussion, and the penalty gives the Bucs a first down at their 43. Glennon sends everybody out. He's hit as he throws, and the pass is dropped by Mike Williams.
Great
Big
break.
hit on Mike Glennon.
Gerard Powers, great break at the end of the play. But this is how you attack quarterbacks, especially rookie quarterbacks. You try to get in their head. Any type of pressure hits. I don't care if you're Brady, Breeze. The pressure is going to frustrate quarterbacks. Matt Shaughnessy, not quite in your viewpoint yet. He comes in here at the end. You see the head, the shoulders whip back. You don't want too many of those on your quarterback.
Oh. 2nd and 10 out of the shotgun. Pressure on Glennon. Gets rid of it. Connects with Mike Williams. First down at the Arizona 44-yard line. That time Glennon hung in there under pressure.
I like the throw. An out-breaking route. You can get your quarterback out of bounds. You know what? Actually, Mike Williams not in your view right now, but he's going to dive to about 12 yards, put his foot in the ground, and then break out Gerard Powers. That's about as well as you can play it on that given route.
He's spotted at the Cardinals 44. Williams, 3 catches, 35 yards, 1 touchdown. Again, everybody out. Glennon, quick release, and another completion. Inside the 30, Tim Wright brought down the rookie out of Rutgers, undrafted free agent.
Carlos Dansby on the tackle. You know, Tim Wright, a very athletic tight end that they want to get in this game plan. We've seen him active on this drive here.
First down at the Cardinals 29. With a little over a minute to go. in the first half. Glennon looked like he was calling an audible at the line that the Bucs decided to call a timeout and talk things over. Coming up on the Visa halftime show, Kurt, Terry, Howie, Michael, and Jimmy will talk Steelers and Vikings in London. Bengals trying to stay hot against the Cleveland Browns. And how about the second game of our doubleheader? We've got Philadelphia at Denver, Dallas at San Diego, Washington at Oakland. There's some good games coming up.
Fun games.
In the doubleheader games this afternoon. They'll talk about it on the Visa halftime report. Look at the numbers on this drive.
You love it. Listen, call him a game manager, and he'll be just happy if they get this W today.
This drive started at the 7-yard line. Now at the Arizona 29.
35 is Mike.
Glennon hands off to Martin. Martin spinning down to the 26-yard line, made it a 27. Give him 2 on the play. Tampa Bay with 2 timeouts remaining. 12th play of this drive. Outstanding drive led by the rookie Mike Glennon. Blitz coming. Glennon hit as he throws, and it's incomplete.
Javier Arenas is the one that applies the late pressure. Mike tried to stand in there as long as he could. A little early for Vincent Jackson to break out of that route to get that ball. You'll see Javier Arenas going to add himself late into this pressure. Waiting, let the line decipher. Doug Martin misses the blitz protection, which is a rarity for a young running back. Again, his second year. This guy is normally superb and spot on in that area of his game.
Did Martin release too soon?
Well, you saw Javier kind of pause at the top to try to bait Doug Martin to release. Javier Arenas, great job with setting up that blitz.
On 3rd down, Glennon moving to his right, and they stop the play.
Ball starts. Offense number 19. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
That's the wide receiver Mike Williams, who left too soon. That sets him back 5 yards.
And this is where the blitz package of Todd Bowles, you know, it's not just the offensive line and tight end. You see the wide receivers in the slot. They see that blitz coming. They get a little antsy. You get those easy 5 yards.
Have to get to the 19-yard line for a 1st down. Blitz coming. Glennon hit, and the ball batted down. Dante Moak making his debut for the Arizona Cardinals, just signed this week.
Well, you're going to see the pressure, and then you're going to get Moak coming in here as well. Jeremiah Bell is going to draw the attention of Doug Martin, and then Dante Moak comes free.
Moak has got good speed.
Yes, and they love his pass rush ability. You saw the finish there at the end.
They brought him up from the practice squad this week. So now a 50-yard field goal attempt by Ryan Lindell out of the hold of Michael Kanan. The kick on the way, and it is good. A beauty by Ryan Lindell. He has struggled early this season. He's only 3 for 5 now, but that was a big one. With 27 seconds remaining in the first half, that caps off a good drive down the field for Tampa Bay.
Ryan Lindell's done this for a long time. He was in Seattle with me my rookie year. Big leg, some early struggles this season. Greg Schiano said all the faith in the world with him.
He missed one against the New York Jets. He missed one against the New Orleans Saints. And those were games that could have gone Tampa Bay's way. Here, Lindell with a season-long 50-yard field goal, giving the Bucs a 10-0 lead. 14-play drive for Tampa Bay.
Well, you also got to add in there that that drive was aided by the defensive penalty against Jeremiah Bell. The illegal hit to the head. Questionable call in my opinion, but this is the day and age that we play in this game. We're defenders. You've got to hit in that strike zone, stay away from the head, and now Tampa Bay is up 10-0.
Impressive showing thus far by Mike Glennon in his NFL debut, taking over from Josh Freeman, who's been the longtime starter here. But a lot of disappointment in Freeman's performance this year. His pass completion percentage just over 45%. And, of course, the team at 0-3, feeling that the season might be slipping away, decided to make a change.
And it felt like there was more inside knowledge of why they made the decision. There's a lot of blame to put on wide receivers and tight ends and everyone else other than Josh Freeman.
Fox tomorrow. Everyone is losing their heads over the new hit series, Sleepy Hollow. See for yourself why Rolling Stone says it's the most fun you'll have with a new television show this fall. An all-new Sleepy Hollow tomorrow night at 9, 8 Central on Fox. Now, if we were staying over, maybe we'd go on the ship and get our TV set up and watch Sleepy Hollow tomorrow night.
Make the show extra creepy.
Well, the ball, bad snap, and the pass almost intercepted by Jonathan Banks.
We also had Paul Fanica, the guard, knock out one of our officials as well. They're trying to set up this same screen pass, get these linemen downfield, get your running back down the middle. Starts with a bad snap, and then it's a high pass to Andre Ellington. I think this is going to make Bruce Arians reconsider what he's going to do here. They do have 2 timeouts, 22 seconds left. Maybe not. Carson's coming out in the shotgun formation, 4 wides. Let's see.
The chunks on offense that Bruce Arians wanted has not developed. Everybody out. Palmer throws short. Then that one's broken up. He tried to get it to Andre Ellington, and Gerald McCoy, who's had a very good first half, broke it up.
Sam, they just tried to run the same exact play. You'll see Lyle Sindeline, your center, throws the defender. Gerald McCoy almost steps right in front of it, feeling the screen, reading it out. Thing of beauty. But Bruce Arians, he wanted that middle screen.
The Buccaneers have one takeaway in this first half, a fumble recovery. They dropped a couple of possible interceptions. Here's 3rd and 10. Palmer gets time. Andre Ellington hit by Jonathan Banks. And the rookie Banks, impressive in this game. Timeout, Tampa Bay, with 11 seconds remaining.
A 30-second timeout. With the game clock operator, please reset the game clock to 12 seconds. 12 seconds, please. Thank you.
They'll give him an extra second. Stay with us at halftime. The Visa Halftime Show with the guys, Kurt, Terry, Howie, Michael, and Jimmy in the studio. They've got it all covered. Highlights, analysis. Indianapolis Colts leading in Jacksonville. Off to a good start. A lot of action in London. Steelers and Vikings. They'll check it out on the Visa Halftime Report coming up next. Dave Zastudil is back to punt. Long, high punt. Eric Page backs up to the 24, called a fair catch.
Fair catch by Eric Page.
And the Bucs take over at the 24-yard line with 5 seconds remaining in the half. And a good job by the rookie Mike Glennon in managing the game. That's what he talked about with us.
Very much so. You said it earlier. Felt no need to be the hero. Really didn't seem that he felt the pressure replacing Josh Freeman. He wanted to go out and play the game that he's been built to play, and that's to manage the system, get this team in the right checks at the line of scrimmage, and do what they've asked him to do. And on offense, that's what he's done.
Had a good long drive that set up the field goal by Ryan Lindell after a fumble recovery by Gerald McCoy, a 41-yard drive for a touchdown with a pass to Mike Williams. Tampa Bay Buccaneers looking for their first win of the season with a rookie quarterback. Lead the Arizona Cardinals at halftime, 10-0. Let's go to LA to Kurt Menefee. Follow your favorite team all season long.
Bucs with a 10-0 lead. We talk about the Bucs. How about the Arizona Cardinals? They haven't been able to get their offense in any kind of role consistently. In fact, 5 of their 7 possessions, they've had fewer than 10 yards gained.
Well, 0-6 on third down. It's really been the Achilles heel for Carson Palmer, Bruce Arians in this offense. Rashard Mendenhall, again, not able to consistently run the ball the way they need to make the whole offense work. And then the only, I think, bright point to praise for this Arizona team, this defensive line's come to play. Good job trying to contain the run, Doug Martin and Tampa Bay Bucs.
All right, you're going into the second half. What do you do as far as Arizona's concerned to change it up, change things, get something going?
Well, it's the aggressive nature of Bruce Arians that's going to fix this, but he's got to get these players, Carson Palmer and this offense, to buy in and make the plays. We saw it at the end of the first half. You know, you had under a minute. Bruce Arians had 2 timeouts. He chose to try to make some strikes down the field, run a couple screen plays. Didn't work out on their half, but the aggressive nature of Bruce Arians is not going to change. They've got to steady themselves with a run game. They've got to be better on first down, get themselves into third and manageable situations, and someone's got to step up and make some plays. It's hard to say that a team with Larry Fitzgerald on it, someone's got to step up and make plays, but Carson's got to give big number 11, Larry Fitzgerald, a chance to make some plays this half.
We talked about that right at the top. We were expecting this matchup. Well, right now, Darrelle Revis has the edge because they haven't targeted Larry Fitzgerald at all.
They haven't, and even just, play selection. Tampa Bay gets the ball and makes their kind of slow, methodical drives, but they've got to find a way to get number 11, Larry Fitzgerald, involved.
This is Jeff Demps with his first NFL return across the 20 to the 21-yard line. We go down to the field to Molly McGrath. Molly.
Thanks, Sam. Vic So'oto left in the second for a concussion evaluation. Bruce Arians had no word on whether or not he'll return, but he did say that he is very, very frustrated because Soto just got here, and this could be their 4th linebacker that's injured this week. He also said that their defense was on the field for too long in the first half, and he wants to see more of those chunk plays that you're talking about. Sam?
Yeah, you're right about that. Thanks, Molly. And maybe some more conversions on third down. But meanwhile, the Bucs start from their 21. Mike Glennon pointing out the middle linebacker to his teammates to play fake. Glennon steps up, goes outside of the fullback, Eric Lorig. Lorig stays in bounds for the nice little cut. And it's across the 40 to the 41-yard line.
Well, this is play action at its best. When you can run the ball as good as you do, you get Lorig out here, but you watch all the defenders get sucked up in there. Tyrann Mathieu in there. Lorig slips off of, actually, Mathieu had him in contact, let him go. Carlos Dansby overruns the big fullback out in the flat.
And Eric Lorig shaken up on the play. He wants to get up. They brought in a second fullback because they've been short as far as tight ends are concerned, Spencer Larson. So he could take over for Lorig. We'll be back in just a moment.
Today's game is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. And by Miller Lite. It's not just a good time, it's Miller time.
Eric Lorig went out to the sideline under his own power. He seemed to be okay. First down after a 20-yard gain. Longest pass play of the game for the Buccaneers. Here's Doug Martin trying to find some room. Gets a couple of yards.
I like what they did on first down. Play action pass. This is a very heavy run-oriented team on first down. You get your 20-yard game to your fullback and then bring it back down on first down. Spencer Larson, your second-string fullback, comes in, lead ISO, run the ball. I wouldn't be so comfortable to sit on this lead, though. Bruce Arians, sure, play design. They can score 10 points in a hurry.
That pass complete to Vincent Jackson. Couple of nice moves, and he's down to the 42-yard line. Good throw by Mike Glennon.
Well, and you like the way that he sticks it in there. Vincent Jackson, you see Patrick Peterson. This is another heavyweight matchup. I like the ball. I mean, Patrick Peterson showing the respect that Vincent obviously deserves. Good finish. He looks healthy. They were worried about him playing today. A lot of burst. Nice move after the catch.
Good job by Glennon with receivers that he hasn't had a lot of work with because neither Mike Williams nor Vincent Jackson saw much practice time at all this past week. Doug Martin across the 40 to the 38-yard line. Now, I think there's some concern for the Arizona Cardinals about whether they'll wear down in the heat and humidity and a lack of depth at certain positions.
Most definitely, and if there's been a strong point to this Arizona team today, it's been able to handle the run game of, Greg Schiano and Doug Martin. They want to pound the rock. The linebackers, they're the ones that you're worried about. A lot of pass coverage, as well as responsible for sticking their nose in there and stopping this run game.
Spencer Larson is the fullback. Martin gets a little bit on the play down to the 38-yard line, maybe no gain. They'll bring up a third down for the Buccaneers.
Well, Calais Campbell sure hasn't gotten tired. Again, we've talked about him a few times today. The way he's able to knife through defenses, so big, 6'7", nearly 300 pounds. His defensive front has played well today.
Bucs 6 for 11 on third down in the game. Swing it out to Doug Martin. He dropped it. And Glennon was hit after he released. Calais Campbell got in there for a hit on the quarterback.
Well, and he's been hit a few times today. You like his presence to stand in there. He tried to buy a little bit of time, flip the ball out there to Doug Martin, John Abraham, and Calais Campbell. They're right in his face as he released.
And Greg Schiano decides to go for it here on fourth down. And Eric Loring, who was shaken up earlier, number 41, is back in at fullback. Bucs are 0 for 4 on fourth down tries this season. Have to get to the 32-yard line for a first down.
I'm thinking there's no play here. This is called no-brainer dummy. They're just trying to draw him off sides here. You could see Glennon trying to put his heel in motion to send one of the players. You had Tim Wright.
You're right about that. They take a delay of game and then send on the punting unit.
You had Tim Wright and Eric Loring. Both of them were a little indecisive of who was the motion man. And the play, Sam, is really called no-brainer. It's no brain. There's no snap. So if you jump off sides, you don't have a brain. Offensively speaking, that is.
Now, you could say that to your teammates.
Right. I've seen a few people jump off sides, though. That's the problem.
Tyrann Mathieu is back deep again for the Cardinals. Standing at his own 10. Fifth punt of the game for Michael Kanan. High punt. Bounces down at the 10. Goes sideways. And the Bucs will down it at the 7-yard line. Everything going right for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They have a 10-0 lead and pin the Cardinals back.
NFL fans, these numbers that you're seeing, that's just wrong. Thrown to Larry Fitzgerald, 0 catches, 0 yards. Carson Palmer got to find a way. If you have to force number 11 the ball, plenty of opportunities to get it to him. He's their playmaker. Get it in his hands.
Two backs in the backfield, the rookie Stephan Taylor and Rashard Mendenhall off the play fake. Palmer throws and completes to Larry Fitzgerald. There it is. First time he was targeted. First time they completed a pass to him.
Well, and I like that they move him, too. They start him. You see Revis was originally on his side. They get him in motion. Make the Buccaneers communicate. Make them, hey, where's number 11? What zone is he sitting in? You see Levante David, a normally surefire tackle. He misses it. Larry Fitzgerald after the catch is a nightmare.
Why were those zeros up there? Why was that happening?
You know what? I have absolutely no good idea for you. I mean, you have to force the ball. When you have a playmaker like Larry Fitzgerald, you get the ball in his hands.
That's Rashard Mendenhall carrying. Didn't get much as he was looking for the first down line.
And now we're back in a third down situation again.
He did no.
Or did he get
got enough? Gene Steratore is waving to the sideline for them to move the chains. He got just enough for the first down up at the 18. Bruce Arians, the man who calls the plays, the head coach, trying to find ways to get his offense going. They've been stagnant, to say the least. Palmer gets time and throws to Michael Floyd. Floyd battles his way across the 30 and is out of bounds at the 32-yard line. Another first down for the Cardinals.
You know what? Two tight end set. You see Dre and Sperry in there, which gives you a run look. You see the pocket open up for Carson. This is just an easy pitch and catch. Michael Floyd, a big-bodied wide receiver. Keep mixing it up, Bruce Arians. Get this defense for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on their heels.
Now Fitzgerald lines up opposite Darrelle Revis. Floyd motions, and Rashard Mendenhall slips one man, Trying to get outside, but he's thrown for a loss. Good job by the Tampa Bay defense, stringing it out. Dakota Watson led the way.
Well, penetration. Dakota Watson wraps it up there at the end. Gerald McCoy has been highly active. You know, these big guys down front, they get going. You see Spence and McCoy in there. You watch the penetration. McCoy rips across the face. That's what's called a reach block. He is a big, fast man, hard to reach. He's 4 yards in the backfield. Spence did a great job, too, of penetrating through and pushing back that offensive line.
Loss of 2 on the play. Palmer out of the shotgun on 2nd and 12. Throws and completes to Fitzgerald up near midfield. A first down for the Cardinals at the 49-yard line.
Well, and this is where Carson is at his best. You're going to see this just deep end-breaking route, 12 to 15 yards. Find that soft window. That's Carson's best ball that he throws. Big, tall guy, stands in the pocket. Good protection for the most part. He takes a hit at the end, but that's going to happen. Give this guy 3.5 seconds. Keep forcing that ball to number 11.
A gain of 20 on the play as the Cardinals start to move the ball offensively here in the 3rd quarter. And Palmer steps back and calls a timeout.
Timeout. Arizona.
This drive started on the 8-yard line. Up around midfield. It's been tough going for the Arizona offense.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by Chrysler, imported from Detroit.
Arizona Cardinals had only 3 first downs in the first half. They've had 3 on this drive. First down at the 49-yard line. Rob Hausler, the tight end, motions outside. Palmer. That pass incomplete. Looked like a misread as Revis was covering Larry Fitzgerald on the play.
Well, Revis saw it. Larry didn't. I think Larry looked like he was running a different route. Carson's going to put this ball really right at the sticks. You see the first down marker. I think Larry was thinking he was going to do an inside comeback. Carson threw the ball outside. Those are those miscommunications in the details that Bruce Arians has been harping on now for 4 weeks straight.
Andre Ellington, the running back. Hausler motions again. Short drop. Palmer fires for Fitzgerald. That time he got the better of Revis, and he's got a first down across the 40-yard line. That's a great matchup. 2 great players.
This is the matchup we were hoping to see. You see about here, it's man on man. Revis gets his opportunity, sticks it in there. Those big hands by Larry Fitzgerald. It's stealing a lot of the time.
3 catches for Fitzgerald, 41 yards from the 39. Rashard Mendenhall back in, gets a couple of yards down to the 37-yard line. Rotating their backs with Ellington coming in, Mendenhall, a little bit of Alphonso Smith, but they really haven't been able to establish a solid, consistent running game.
Well, it's been that way all year. And Bruce knows who and what he is up front on that offensive line. He knows they've had protection issues, but he's still trying to establish something up front that gives his quarterback some consistency to take some of those shots down the field.
Here's Mendenhall. And he battles his way, hard-earned 5 yards, maybe a little more, down to the 31-yard line.
This is just goodwill and 1-2 by Rashard Mendenhall. Kind of bottled up at the line of scrimmage. Is able to turn the legs, spin off away from the contact, and fall forward for a nice game. Get him in a 3rd and 1.5, 3rd and 2 manageable situation.
That's what they have here. 10th play of the drive for the Cardinals. Ellington, the running back. 3 wide receivers in. And it's Ellington straight ahead. And he's got enough for the first down. Ellington, not a big back. He goes 5'9", 199 pounds, rookie out of Clemson. But he's got good quickness, and he's a very good receiver.
Well, and they're trying to figure out what his plate load should be. You know, we had him 2 weeks ago. Detroit, exceptional game for a young back. Last week, mixed him in a lot. They felt like they might have overloaded him mentally a little bit.
Deepest penetration into Tampa Bay territory in the game for the Cardinals. A first down at the 29. Palmer. He's hit as he throws. And a flag on the play. That was Gary Gibson, who was hurt on the first play of the game last week and suffered a back injury. He made the hit on Carson Palmer. There is a flag, and we'll check that out.
I think they're going to get Carson for intentional grounding. As you mentioned, Gibson had him wrapped up going to the ground, and not
intentional grounding. Offense number 3. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Loss of down. Second down.
Well, and this is where Carson, we've talked about Mike Glennon managing the snaps. You know, Carson's going to stand in there. You see the quick drop. He's going to get to his 5th. What he wants isn't there. He's got to eat that one. And then you look in the defensive backfield, the typical zone by Greg Schiano. You saw a window for Michael Floyd come open, but Carson couldn't get the ball there. And we see the big hit by Gary Gibson.
Now it's second and long. Have to get to the 19-yard line for first down. Second and 20. Ellington, the running back. 3 wide receivers in. Palmer gets time, and he finds his man wide open. That's Michael Floyd, who gets down to the 16-yard line. He's got a first down.
And again, we said it a minute ago, what does Carson want to throw? He wants to stand tall in the pocket, and he wants to throw these deep in-breaking routes. Big arm, tall stature. He sees the field well, and that's exactly what Michael Floyd gives you. You got to love, despite the deficit, we're still down 10-0. The Cardinals, you can see the disposition of their head coach and Bruce Arians, still emotional, still in this ball game.
Down to the 11-yard line, 27-yard gain on the play. Longest play of the game for the Cardinals. Here's Mendenhall on the toss. They stop the play. A false start.
False start. Offense number 75. 5-yard penalty. First down.
That's the left tackle, Levi Brown. Let's get an injury update down to the sideline to Molly McGrath.
Thanks, Sam. I just talked to Tampa Bay's staff, and their safety, Mark Barron, is out with a hamstring injury. He will not return, and it looks like they could be using him on defense right now. Sam?
Yeah, he was hurt during the week and sat out practice Friday, tried to go today, and obviously couldn't.
Well, that's a big loss. This is a guy that, you know, we throw out a lot of words for defensive backs, but this guy's got them all, the instincts, the toughness, the coverage ability, the open field tackling, and then getting his hands on a ball in the pass game as well.
Out of the shotgun, first and 15. Draw play to Ellington. Gets to the 15-yard line, a gain of a yard on the play. This is a big drive for the Arizona Cardinals. They have not scored since the first drive of the game, the opening drive of the game last week in New Orleans.
Well, and they're near last in red zone. I believe they're 29th in this business, and so you get down here and then you have a false start. So you're sitting at first and 15 and try to get back on track, draw a play. Doesn't work out, you get a yard. Now Carson's got to be smart here. Pick up some manageable yards here.
Split the back to the left, 3 wide receivers in the game. Palmer gets time, throws to the end zone, intercepted by Jonathan Banks.
What a play by the rookie.
The rookie out of Mississippi State with his first NFL interception. Stops the Cardinals cold with a leaping grab.
Jonathan Banks, 6'2". Look at the height, the jump, the ball skills. I love it. Here's the beauty of Greg Schiano's zone defense. Michael Floyd, you're going to get your corner. Andre Ellington trying to sit down and entice Jonathan Banks to come up. But watch the instincts of Jonathan Banks. He sees eyes in the backfield. He doesn't squat on Ellington, fades back. And then, folks at home, the rookie from Mississippi State, you cannot teach those ball skills.
What a play. Second turnover of the game by the Cardinals. First and 10 from the 20 for Tampa Bay. And Doug Martin gets a yard on the play. Matt Shaughnessy in on the tackle. They battle for the loose ball. There's flags going on as they kept going after the whistle.
Well, this defense for Arizona, especially this down lineman, a lot of pride. You can see the way they're playing late in this game. They've been exceptional against the run today. I don't like where this team is at, and they're probably a bit frustrated. We'll see who this flag is on.
Oh, tough situation for Arizona. They had a great drive going, 14 plays, 77 yards, over 7 minutes 40 seconds of possession time, and they come up empty.
Well, and I'd love to put that on Carson, but very tough read, and obviously the ball came out of his hand, so he'll get the blame, but it's just an unbelievable job by Jonathan Banks.
Personal foul, taunting, defense, number 90, 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
Darnell Dockett, the man called for the personal foul.
Well, that's the frustration that starts to come out this defense. Again, I'm going to focus on the down three. The Calais Campbell, Darnell Dockett been very, very active. You know, Ta'amatu, they've played extremely well. That frustration when you're playing as well as they have up front. The offense isn't living up to their end of the bargain. It's frustrating times.
Man who's done a good job filling in for Dan Williams during his personal tragedy is Alameda Ta'amu, who has played well at nose tackle, but they've rotated in people trying to keep that front fresh. Off the play fake. Glennon in trouble, throws it away. Matthew with the blitz. We go for an update to Kurt Menefee.
New quarterback for the Vikings. So what? They've got old man Adrian Peterson back there in the backfield. Doesn't look old at all. Second touchdown of the game. He's over 100 yards. 10-point lead over the Steelers. They look for their first win of the season playing in London. Sam, that's the kind of game a fullback would like, right?
Yeah. Our fullback would love it. You're right about that, Kurt. Arizona wanted to flag for intentional grounding, and they got it.
Number 8, spot of the foul, loss of down, second down.
Glennon had the deep drop, but he wasn't out of the pocket.
Right, it's a good call. They were actually trying to set up a screen to Doug Martin, and it's very simple. You see Tyrann Mathieu flies off the edge. You know, Doug Martin actually missed his, my apologies, it was not a screen. Doug Martin missed his protection again, and then Doug tried to rebound late, but could not get out of the pocket to throw that ball away from Mike Glennon.
Glennon throws, trying to hit Ogletree, and that time threw it over his head. Good pressure by Frosty Rucker. Rucker is a man who's been rotating in at nose tackle. And former Cleveland Brown and USC product. Wonder what he thinks about the coaching change at USC made after the game last night. Well, Lane Kiffin fired after the loss to Arizona State.
Well, I don't know. At least they let Lane get on the plane to go back home.
Here's third and long. They have to get to the 46-yard line for a first down. Glennon throws and missed. Trying to hit Ogletree. So the penalties hurt Tampa Bay, and they'll be forced to punt.
Tyrann Mathieu.
Glennon has missed his last 4 passes. Michael Kanan for his 6th punt of the game. Buccaneers with a 10-0 lead. 8-yard touchdown pass from the rookie Glennon to Mike Williams, and then a 50-yard field goal by Ryan Lindell. Tyrann Mathieu is back deep. There's a flag on the play as the kick sails out of bounds, and angled out of bounds. They'll spot it up near the 39-yard line. So they're trying to keep it away from the return man, and it cost them some yards.
It's a lot of respect for Tyrann Mathieu, a young rookie. We know the gifted athlete that he is. We're used to seeing that when Patrick Peterson's back there. Interesting that they're still deciding to kick that ball out of bounds away from the rookie.
Illegal procedure, number 89 of the kicking team. Player went out of bounds on his own and returned. The 5-yard penalty from the end of the kick. First down, Arizona. Timeout.
So Arizona gets good field position as they try to get back in the game, trailing 10-0.
We have Michael Floyd comes in motion. I think they're probably going to get false start by Eric Winston on this one.
False start. Offense. Number 73. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Well, and this is what Bruce Arians just cannot have again. Now you're starting to drive. Great field position. 1st and 10. Now you're looking at 1st and 15. There's been no rhythm for this offense outside of this last drive. And now they do the same thing they did in the red zone when they were down here again. 1st and 15. Carson threw an interception last time. We'll see how Carson bounces back from this one.
1st and 1. 1st and 15. Larry Fitzgerald, he's got his arms up, not sure. Flag on the play. Palmer goes outside to Andre Roberts. He's brought down up at the 43. And the Bucs are pointing at the Cardinals. And we'll check out the flag with Gene Steratore.
I'm assuming this will be a legal formation. We had Larry Fitzgerald with his hands in the air. Wasn't sure if he was the motion man or not. Not sure everyone got set, and they had enough guys on the line of scrimmage. Gene Steratore is talking to Greg Schiano, giving him a little heads up on the penalty, seeing if they want to mark this off or take the loss of the down.
It's illegal formation. Offense. The 5-yard penalty. Replay first down.
And again, the Cardinals set back. Their 8th penalty of the game.
Details. We've heard it from Bruce Arians over and over and over again. Details, details, details. It's now cost them 20 yards, 1st and 20.
See how long it's been since they scored last week. Back at the 34-yard line with the spread offense. Palmer throws for Michael Floyd. Good throw, good catch, and Floyd gets a first down at the Bucs 43-yard line. Nice catch by Michael Floyd, and now an injury on the play to Darren College, the left guard.
Well, they can't afford to have anything mess up with that offensive line. They've struggled enough as it is. Nate Potter would come in to fill the void if Darren College can't continue. Darren College walking off under his own power. Looks like he got folded up there in the pile, but on a great strike from Carson Palmer. Looking down the middle of the field again. Michael Floyd, big catch. And here's Darren College. Traffic. You see these guys, he's starting to fall. Gets away with a little bit of hold. Don't really see where he got hurt, partner.
Nate Potter, number 76, replaces Darren College at left guard. On first down, Rashard Mendenhall doesn't get much. They have struggled to run the football. Just 48 yards rushing in the game for the Arizona Cardinals. Michael Floyd with that last catch, 4 catches, 67 yards. Darren College, the veteran guard, in his 3rd year with the Arizona Cardinals. He's one of the anchors on that offensive line. 2nd and 9. Palmer being pressured by McCoy. Runs for it and heads out of bounds at the 33-yard line. Looks like he got enough for the first down. Don't often see Carson Palmer take off. That's not his strength.
Well, we saw the wheels there from the veteran quarterback. He gets back here. He's going to see the pressure near immediately.
Is reporting eligible on the play. Number 79 is eligible.
McCoy went right after Nate Potter, who was in for Darren College, but great job by Carson.
Bradley Sowell, number 79, another offensive tackle, is eligible as another tight end on the left side. Palmer being rushed from the outside, and the pass is intercepted by Darrelle Revis. There's the matchup. Revis and Fitzgerald, the two All-Pros. Revis wins this one.
Yes, he does. Carson's getting hit when he releases the ball. You see Darrelle Revis. Larry just could not get out of the break fast enough.
Last two drives for Arizona ending in interceptions. This time, Darrelle Revis gets his first as a Tampa Bay Buccaneer.
Well, and they both fall on the shoulders of Carson Palmer. Down in the red zone, Jonathan Banks, a great individual play. Revis makes an exceptional play as well, but looked like Carson was thrown to a spot that Larry just wasn't at.
Greg Schiano told us the turnover battle would be crucial in this game, and right now it's 3-1 in favor. It's 3-0 in favor of Tampa Bay. Play fake by Glennon, has time and throws, try to hit Vince Jackson, but overthrew him. Patrick Peterson covering on the play. Glennon is leveled off a little bit here in the second half. Not as accurate as he was in the first half. He's now 17 for 31 in the game. 149 yards and 1 touchdown.
Well, he's given them what they've needed. He's made the plays that were available to make. He's gotten rid of the balls where there weren't plays to make.
The speedy Jeff Demps, the Olympic sprinter, is in the slot. Number 32, playing his first game. Gets the short pass and takes off. He ran in the Olympics on the 4x100 relay team that won a silver medal. Well, Jeff Demps.
And you see the acceleration. I mean, after the catch, a lot of track guys, their burst, their speed burst doesn't transition when you put pads on them. But you know, Demps was in New England for a while. You talked to Belichick and his staff. They said the speed was not the issue. You saw it as soon as the ball hit his hands. He was rounding that corner on Jefferson.
Getting his first chance to play after a trade from New England to the Bucs. He was here for a couple of weeks. Glennon handing to Doug Martin, and he's brought down in the backfield. Great play by Darnell Dockett, but there's a flag on the play.
The penetration again by Darnell Dockett. You know, exceptional speed and strength.
Injured player on the field. Dockett's slow to get up, but he seems like he's okay.
Not sure if they're going to get him for a face mask or potentially a horse collar. That flag came out quickly from Gene.
Personal foul. Horse collar tackle. Defense number 90. A foul occurs behind the line of scrimmage. It will be penalized from the end of the run. 15 yards automatic. First down.
Yeah, Doug Martin's got the stiff arm to Darnell's face mask, and big Darnell, those D linemen, they get a hold of that cloth and they don't want to let it go.
Yeah. And Dockett limping off noticeably now. When he first got up, it seemed like he'd be okay, but now limping slowly to the sideline, and that already hurts a depleted Arizona defense. Ball up to the 41-yard line. Ronald Talley, third-year man out of Delaware, will replace Darnell Dockett. We've reached the end of the third quarter. The Bucs defense has come up with big plays. They still lead 10-0. McGrath here in Tampa as we get set to start the fourth quarter. And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers holding a 10-0 lead on the Arizona Cardinals. From the 41-yard line, Mike Glennon gets time, puts it up deep for Vincent Jackson and overthrows him once again. Jackson against Patrick Peterson. Good coverage on the play. September is Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. Thanks to two Cleveland teens and former NFL linebacker and current Fox Sports 1 analyst Scott Fujita, many children with cancer are enjoying pro football games today, and the goal for the 13,500 children diagnosed with cancer annually is to see this initiative grow in future seasons. If you're interested in supporting the cause, visit foxsports.com/Fox Sports Supports for more information. On second down, Doug Martin. Hard run up to the 45-yard line. We go to L.A. to Kurt Menefee for an update.
Been this kind of day for Jake Cutler. Ndamukong Suh sacks him. Ball comes out. 4th turnover of the game by Cutler, who also has got 3 picks. Nick Fairley turns it into a touchdown. All Lions, 37-16. Sam and Heath.
Wow, the Lions coming alive, and the defense with some big plays.
I picked that game wrong, Sam. You warned me.
3rd and 6. Brian Leonard in the backfield with Glennon. Glennon for Leonard, makes a nice grab, and it's a first down. Terrific effort by the veteran 7th-year player from Rutgers.
Talk about touch for a big, strong-arm quarterback. You see him lay it over the linebacker. Brian Leonard, what a catch. Sticks out that left arm, makes the grab. Thing of beauty.
The Bucs 8 for 15 on 3rd down conversions in the game. Now at the Arizona 48-yard line. Here's Martin. He dropped the football. And the Cardinals look like they have it. They do. First turnover of the game. Matt Shaughnessy with a recovery. First turnover of the game for Tampa Bay, as Doug Martin never had the handle on it.
Well, and this again, we talk about ball handling and the mistakes that sometimes can be made. You know, a quarterback that hasn't had a lot of work. I'm not sure you can put that one on Mike Glennon. From that angle, it looked like the ball was in the pocket. Doug Martin is obviously responsible for taking that. Yeah, maybe a hair high. You never want that ball to hit the underplate of your shoulder pads, but that's one that Doug Martin has to put on his shoulders and say, I've got that one, Mike. That's my bad.
Well, if Arizona's going to get back in this game, here's the point. They've got the ball at midfield. Fitzgerald lined up against Rivas on the far side. Blitz coming. The pass to Fitzgerald with a good grab. And a short pickup of a little over 5 yards on the play. Palmer had to get rid of it in a hurry.
The main theme to their consistency and offense in the second half has been get the ball to number 11. He's going to make plays. I don't care if you've got to force the hand. You're down 10-0 on the road. 4th quarter, you're just given great field position. Someone's got to make a play. Number 11 is going to be the guy I'm going to.
4 catches, 47 yards. 2nd and 5. Once again, the blitz coming. They pick it up. Palmer's throw is a great catch by Rob Hausler, the tight end. One-on-one with Jonathan Casillas. Casillas never saw the ball, and Hausler stayed with it.
Hausler's in line here on the end of the line of scrimmage, and you're going to see Jonathan Casillas, a very fast, athletic linebacker. He's with him stride for stride. Jonathan's got to flip his head around and make a play on that ball. What an outstanding throw and catch by Rob Hausler. This is the guy they've been missing in this offense.
First down, pickup of 23 to the 21-yard line. They line up Hausler in the backfield. Everybody out. Palmer with time, throws for the end zone, incomplete. Trying to get it to Michael Floyd with Jonathan Banks covering on the play.
Looks like Jonathan Banks, they just kind of got their feet tangled up a little bit. But again, you have to love what you're getting from the rookie out of Mississippi State. Good presence, not to grab. He was getting ready to go over the back right at the perfect time. Great instincts.
2nd and 10 for the Cardinals on the Buccaneers' 21-yard line.
Another mix-up, it seems, between Rashard Mendenhall, Carson Palmer.
2 backs in the game, Mendenhall and Andre Ellington. Ellington in the slot to the right. Everybody out, swing it out to Mendenhall. And he's hit for a loss. Back to the 24-yard line. Lavonte David with a good play to bring down Rashard Mendenhall with help from Mason Foster. The 2 linebackers combining for a good defensive play.
Interesting look. I was waiting for either a lineman, someone to pull out in front of Rashard Mendenhall. It looked like it was a design with a quick slip screen. Didn't have much help out in the blocking department.
1 for 8 on 3rd down conversions in the game. 4 wide receivers in the game for the Cardinals. On 3rd down, pressure on Palmer. He throws too far, a little too far for Andre Roberts. Covered by Jonathan Banks on the play. So now the field goal kicking unit will come on.
Andre Roberts lined up in the slot. You can see both hands on the ball. Again, Jonathan Banks in coverage. I would argue that that's one Andre Roberts would love to have back. He needs to make that grab for his quarterback.
Tampa native Jay Feely, 5 for 6 this season. 42-yard attempt. Dave Zastudil the holder. Mike Leach the long snapper. And the kick is through. And the Arizona Cardinals have points. They've put their first points on the board. Tampa Bay leads it 10-3.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by Taco Bell. Sometimes you gotta live Moss. By Bud Light, official beer sponsor of the NFL. And by Microsoft Surface. Click in and do more.
Well, the scoring drive of 26 yards, where it started after the fumble recovery. Some frustration by Larry Fitzgerald, upset that the offense hasn't produced more. But they got 3 points on the board, and it's a 10-3 Tampa Bay lead. Jay Feely kicks it off to the speedster, Jeff Dents. The Olympic sprinter brings it out. And he spun around, fights his way across the 15-yard line. Now the Arizona Cardinals need a big defensive stop. But Mike Glennon wants to keep his offense going. The rookie Mike Glennon had a strong first half. Second half, he's kind of leveled off as the Bucs have had only 53 yards total offense in the second half.
Give some credit to that defensive front of Arizona, limiting the run game, which will obviously affect the production of the quarterback.
Jamon Meredith is in as a tight end. He's an offensive tackle. He's eligible. Pass outside to Mike Williams. And he is stopped by Gerard Powers up at the 19-yard line.
One of the few times
3 on the play. Sorry.
No, that's okay. Yeah, it was a good 3-yard chunk, but one of the few times today we've seen him throw the ball on first down. Again, a team that is, there's no hiding the identity of what Greg Schiano wants to be on offense, and so it's good to let this young quarterback mix it up.
But Arizona's done a great job on Doug Martin. They've held him to 31 yards on 23 carries.
1.3 yards per carry.
That's a great job. They have Ronald Talley at nose tackle right now, the Cardinals. This is Doug Martin trying to burst through, and he is brought down on a good tackle by Kenny Demmons, who's making his debut with the Arizona Cardinals, just signed this week.
Well, again, we talk about a 100.3 yard average, and then you get some great push by this offensive line. You see the little split there, and that's all that Doug Martin needs. Jeremiah Bell comes in and finishes up the play there.
Here's a big third down play. Have to get to the 31-yard line. Glennon works out of the shotgun. Late blitz coming. They pick it up. The pass to Ogletree, and he's brought down. Looks like he's close, but I think he's a little short of the first down. That was a good wrap-up in tackle.
It is, and this is where Ogletree has to be more precise. We see the O-line, which is unofficial, but watch the depth of his route. You don't want to be on it. Your coaches always teach you push up through the depth you need, so if you get hit or have to come back to the ball, you're still picking up the first down for your quarterback. He settled his hips on that yellow line, which again is unofficial. This is going to be a close call.
Now, Javier Arenas with a tackle, and look at this. He is about 2 chain lengths short on your own 25-yard line. Here comes the punting unit out.
You know what? I think with as effective as Arizona has been against the run, I agree with this decision. Most weeks you'd say Doug Martin, the way they run the ball on a usual basis, you take that 4th and inches and you go get it. But this is a game now within 7 points.
At this field position, I don't think you gamble at this point. So Patrick Peterson is back in the game. He had been out the last couple of punts by Dave Zastudil. He's back in. Michael Kanan, excuse me, the punter for the Bucs. One-score game. Oh, they go to the up man. They faked it and got a first down. And a whole lot more.
Deshaun Golston, your premier safety, comes over from San Fran. Not to run fake punts, Sam.
There it is.
What a beauty. We were just talking about going for it. You see 38, Deshaun Golston. And not only does he get the 3 chain links, Sam, that you pointed out, racks up a bunch more yards. Nice little move in the open field as well.
Nice running by the safety. The protector back there in punt formation. They needed a couple of chain links. They got 22 on the play. So there's a daring move by Greg Schiano and Dave Wanstead. Doug Martin, no room. Just no room. They have stopped him short of the line of scrimmage several times. That time was Carlos Dansby with another tackle. Good effort up front by the Arizona defense.
Carlos Dansby gets the praise, but you look at what they've done today. Darnell Dockett, Tally that's now in, filling the void. Alameda Ta'amu, Calais Campbell. We've mentioned Calais' name quite a bit today. Very active, aggressive defensive front.
2nd and 11 for the Bucs. With 3 wide receivers in. Martin carries again as they play it safe. Martin gets up to the midfield line. Arizona Cardinals playing their first outdoor game this season. Their first 3 have been inside in their home stadium and in New Orleans.
St. Louis and start off the season week 1. It's different. Heat, humidity, it's a different factor.
They practiced outside in Bradenton all week long. They're trying to break a 9-game road losing streak. Their last road win was week 2 of last season at New England. Glennon being pressured, got rid of it, and connects, but short of the first down as he hit Kevin Ogletree. And Ogletree slow getting up.
Great open field tackle by Tony Jefferson. You know, you saw the stiff arm from Ogletree. Tony, another rookie safety that's playing a lot of time in the back end for Todd Bowles in this defense in Arizona.
Glennon going with safe passes. They come up short of the first down. And the punting unit comes out now. Once again, Patrick Peterson is back in, standing at his own 10-yard line. They've been so aware of Peterson since he returned 4 punts for touchdowns 2 years ago. Whistle blow just as the ball was snapped. Delay of game. And the Bucs move back 5 yards.
With the game clock operator, please reset the game clock for 6 minutes, 41 seconds, 6:41. Thank you.
Arizona down by 7 with plenty of time on the clock. And they'll get the ball, trying to make a comeback in this game. Discussion going on here. Gene Steratore wants to talk things over with his officials.
It's always an interesting call, you know. Not sure if they just couldn't get the ball snapped in time or if they were just trying to bleed this clock as much as you possibly can.
That might have something to do with it. Giano waiting for an explanation. Peterson checking the sky. He has not had many opportunities to return this season. Kanan with the kick toward the sideline. It bounces, heading back. They try to touch it down. It's a touchback. And Arizona gets the ball at the 20.
Today's game is sponsored by Ford. Only Ford gives you EcoBoost fuel economy and a whole lot more.
Couple of interceptions thrown by Carson Palmer here in the game. What are your thoughts here in the second half? He threw them.
Well, the thought is, despite the interceptions in crucial down and distance situations, one in the red zone, they're still in this game. We've got 6.5 minutes left. They're down by 7. It's on Carson's shoulders now. Again, go find Larry Fitzgerald, number 11.
The game clock but did not run after the winding of the clock on the delay of game for 24 seconds. We will adjust the game clock to 6 minutes, 3 seconds. We will adjust the game clock to 6:03. We had wound the clock on the ready for play after the delay of game foul. The game clock did not start for 24 seconds. The game clock will be at 6 minutes, 3 seconds. Thank you.
Thank you, Gene Steratore, for that clarification. So Arizona loses a little time in their efforts to mount a comeback. 6:03 to go. For Carson Palmer, 2 interceptions in this game, 6 this season, and at least 1 in every game this season. Now he needs to mount the comeback. Rashard Mendenhall, the running back. Michael Floyd motions. Palmer's throw right in the middle, in between 2 receivers, and incomplete. For a complete recap of Week 4 in the NFL, as well as the battle for baseball's final playoff spots and the firing of Lane Kiffin, make sure to check out Jay and Dan on Fox Sports Live tonight and every night at 11 Eastern, 8 Pacific on Fox Sports 1. They've got it all covered for you. Carson Palmer. Three wide receivers in. Blitz coming. They pick it up. Palmer to Michael Floyd. First down up at the 39-yard line.
Great job by Carson Palmer, adjusting the protection at the line of scrimmage, getting the correct point. And folks at home, when you see the quarterback pointing, they're readjusting who is the main priority in the protection. So he's sliding his offensive line to the guy that's of the most dire need. Great job picking it up. Rashard Mendenhall, big pickup on Deshaun Golston. Nice strike down the field.
First down at the 40, a gain of 20 on the last play. Palmer motioning. Blitz pickup. Palmer hit as he throws, puts it up there deep and too long. Flag on the play. Andre Roberts was downfield against the rookie Jonathan Banks. Let's see what the call is. Greg Schiano is out on the field. He's saying it was an uncatchable pass.
We're going to see the judgment official. Contact, looks like the call will be.
Passing interference. Defense, number 27, spot of the foul, automatic, first down.
That's on the rookie, Jonathan Banks.
Well, Greg Schiano was saying that it was uncatchable. I didn't quite see where that ball landed. But as Andre Roberts turns up the field, easy call. Jonathan Banks hooks him. Greg Schiano might have a point.
He's got an argument there. But they spot it at the Tampa Bay 47-yard line. First down, Arizona. Palmer gets time, goes to the sideline for Rob Hausler. Couldn't hold on.
Looks like we're going to get another pass interference call. I believe that's Dakota Watson in coverage. Oh, well, offensive pass interference.
Yes, the push-off by Hausler.
That is a call that's very rarely called when it's that slight.
Pass interference, offense, number 84. 10-yard penalty replay, first down.
Tried to buy himself a little room.
Again, Rob Hausler. Slight push off on Dakota Watson. We'll call it a good call.
Arizona Cardinals, 10th penalty of the game. Way too many. Ball back to the Cardinals 43-yard line. First and 20. Palmer gets time. Looking for Larry Fitzgerald, overthrows him, and he was well covered by Darrelle Revis. What a matchup that's been. Time for an update. Let's go back to L.A. to Kurt Menefee.
Well, as you saw just a bit ago in your game, Sam, special teams can make a difference. Dexter McCluster providing the latest example. Kansas City relies on him for an 89-yard punt return for a score against the Giants. They're up now by 10 points in the fourth quarter. Sam and Heath.
Thanks, Kurt. Things going right for Kansas City. All aspects of their game coming through, and the Giants seem to find ways to lose.
I know that hurts your heart there, partner, doesn't it?
Payne. Second and long here for the Cardinals. 4 wide receivers in the game. Palmer throws short to Fitzgerald, and he holds on at the 49 of the Buccaneers. What a matchup that's been by the 2 All-Pros.
Well, and I'd like to see more of it than what we have seen. You know, this first one, Revis pushes him off into his zone. We see Larry come down with the ball. This one here, you see Darrelle doing his job. This one, typical Darrelle Revis. You saw the transition out of his hips, the speed, the burst to pick up an errant throw by Carson Palmer. That's why there's not too many quarterbacks that mess with old number 24.
Arizona 1 for 9 on third down conversions. This is 3rd and 12. Palmer in trouble. His dump off is too high through the hands of Alfonso Smith. It brings up a 4th down. Good pressure on Carson Palmer.
Well, Gerald McCoy again, he's lined up right here. You see the pressure immediately. He just gets that edge. Paul Faneca, you got to stay in front. You got to move your feet, move your hips. This is the way. And then you see Big McCoy. This is what Carson Palmer's seeing right there.
And the last thing was Stephen Means, the 5th-round draft pick out of Buffalo, with a hit on Carson Palmer. 7th punt of the game for Dave Zastudil. High kick, and it's well covered. Justin Bethel gets down the field to down it inside the 10. It's still a 1-score game. These 2 teams came into the game trying to turn their seasons around. Buccaneers 0-3, Arizona 1-2. Each team needing a big win. Tough battle. Couple of big plays. The Buccaneers have been able to maintain the lead. It's 10-3. Now we're down to the final 4 minutes. What do you look for right here on this possession from Tampa Bay?
Well, you expect them to come out here and run the ball. They've got 2 fullbacks, what they call their tank personnel. You want to get 2 first downs and end this game with the ground game.
Lorig and Spencer. And the carry by Doug Martin. Gets up to the 11-yard line. Picked up a 4 on the play. You think they'll let the rookie Mike Glennon throw the ball here?
Well, when you get a chunk like that on first down running with Doug Martin, it might not be needed. You know, I think you get into a third and long situation, you got to let the rookie put the ball in the air. Right now we're sitting at 2nd and 6. They pick up a few more yards. Listen, the average for Doug Martin has been one of the worst I've ever seen. You know, 1.5 yards a carry. This Arizona defensive front came to play in that department today.
Eric Lorig lines up at fullback for the Bucs. On 2nd and 6, blitz coming. They fake the draw. Glennon gets time and throws. Intercepted by Patrick Peterson. He's back to the 15 and down to the 13. They gambled with a pass, and Peterson picked it off.
The one man you do not want to mess with, and this is where Mike Glennon, the rookie, it's man-to-man. Yes, it's your go-to guy, Vincent Jackson, big body, but Patrick Peterson can match it. You see the hips, the instincts, and the ball skills. You saw Patrick's eyes the whole time, peering in the backfield. He knew the route. He was really running the route for Vincent Jackson. And then as Patrick sees the eyes of the quarterback, what does he do? Breaks.
Wow. Peterson had 7 interceptions last season. That's his first of this season.
Well, and here comes the key. Red zone defense for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers has been lights out. They have only allowed 3 all season. All the money that was spent in the offseason. This side of the ball, we'll see what Greg Schiano can get done.
2 tight ends to the right. Palmer looking, throwing to the end zone. Touchdown, Larry Fitzgerald. He beat Darrelle Revis on the play, and the Cardinals cash in on the turnover. and need an extra point to tie it.
Well, as Patrick Peterson makes his play, who are they going to go after? They're going to go after Darrelle Revis. You see 24. What a route. Such a thing of beauty. Carson's eyes all the way. I love it. But what I really love, yeah, it's a beautiful play. Great protection for Carson Palmer. But Larry Fitzgerald in crunch time on arguably, well, I would say hands down the best cover corner in this business. Unbelievable route. Precision, timing, a thing of beauty.
The extra point is through, and the Arizona Cardinals have tied the game. And Larry Fitzgerald with his 3rd touchdown reception of the season, the 80th of his career, his magnificent future Hall of Fame career.
This is a thing of beauty. 8-9 minutes ago of game time, him and Carson frustrated thoroughly, and now hand in the air, finger pointed to the sky. Now we've got a ball game.
And how about the rookie Mike Glennon? Had played virtually a mistake-free game. He'd done a great job managing the game, and then he went for the pass, and Patrick Peterson picked it off. Look at the great numbers. Larry Fitzgerald over 10,000 yards receiving, 80 career touchdowns.
And think about all the different quarterbacks he has played with. This hasn't been a mainstay of a Tom Brady or an elite level quarterback. Kurt Warner and him lit up the sky for a while, but it has been the quarterback carousel in Arizona for a while.
Now the rookie will be put to the test. Can he lead his team down with 3:06 to go in the 4th quarter? The game is tied.
3 timeouts. He's going to have everything at his disposal.
Jay Feely will kick it off, and the speedster Jeff Demps is back to return. Demps deep in the end zone, 9 yards deep, brings it out. And he's tripped up. Justin Bethel, what an outstanding special teams player, made the tackle on Jeff Demps. Fox tonight, do you have what it takes, Heath, to survive the return of animation domination?
You know the answer to that.
2 epic hours that'll give your senses a workout. Don't miss the season premiere of your animation domination favorites. It all starts with Kristen Wiig guest starring with The Simpsons tonight on Fox. And coming up after this game, more great football. We've got Philadelphia, Denver. Some of you will see Dallas and San Diego. Others may see Washington and Oakland. Second game of our Fox doubleheader today. From the 10, Glennon. Doug Martin. And a good tackle on the play by Gerard Powers.
Great tackle. Doug Martin in space. Very rarely do we see him get brought down. Gerard Powers, a 5-year cornerback. Beautiful, beautiful tackle.
The Cardinals have called a timeout. That's their 2nd timeout of the 2nd half. They've got Tampa Bay pinned back, and they want to get possession. Bruce Arians trying to break that long Arizona road losing streak. Greg Schiano trying to get his first win of the season after 2 real tough losses at the New York Jets. Last second field goal 18-17, and then the last second field goal at New Orleans 16-14. Out of the shotgun is Mike Glennon. 3 wide receivers in. Glennon throwing, and it's over the head of Vincent Jackson. Patrick Peterson has done a good job covering Vincent Jackson, who has 2 catches in the game, 27 yards.
Well, we know the rookie, and we know he started this game out, but you got to give your players opportunities to make plays. You'll get a good angle here on Vincent Jackson, and just an uncatchable ball. Not the timing was off, and you see Glennon zip it in there, but you see the distance here. Rhythm, it's everything, but you got to put the ball low and accurate. Give your guy an opportunity to make a play.
3rd and 10.
Arizona pressured on 2nd down. We'll see what they dial up on 3rd.
Hard showing blitz. And Glennon in trouble, and he's brought down. He is brought down at the 1-yard line by Dante Moak, playing his first game for the Arizona Cardinals.
But what did Bruce Arians say? He said, we like his pass rushing ability. It was, you know what, brought in, this is what you give him. You know, you're going to see 50 standing up on the line of scrimmage right here at the end. Moak, here's just a bull rush. Donald Penn can never give up the inside, especially down in your backed up scenarios. Easy play, easy play. Great job by Dante Moe.
Bruce Arians said he was tough to block in practice this week, and he was tough to block there. Greg Schiano running up and down the sideline. He's got to get back inside the coach's box area. Out of the end zone, Michael Kanan, twisting kick. Patrick Peterson at the 42, trying to find some room. Slips one man, and he's out of bounds at the 38-yard line. But the Arizona Cardinals have great field position. They have come from 10 points down to tie the game. Carson Palmer has the ball.
What's Feely's long?
This is going to have a great finish coming up. The Pepsi Game Break Show with Kurt, Terry, Howie, Michael, and Jimmy. They've got scores and highlights from around the league. Fox Sports Ticker has up to the second scores and stats. And then it's game 2 of our Fox NFL doubleheader. Most of you will see Philadelphia, Denver. Some will see Dallas and San Diego. Others may see Washington and Oakland. What a day of football on Fox. Now Arizona in great field position at the Tampa Bay 38-yard line. They spread the offense. Blitz coming. Palmer throws, and he's got Jerron Brown. And a flag on the play. That may be a hit on the defenseless receiver. Brown held on.
Jerron Brown. Not only are they going to get the penalty most likely tacked on here, what an amazing job of sticking his feet after a very difficult catch. Carson gives them an opportunity to go up, make a grab, and that's exactly what he does.
Personal foul. Unnecessary roughness. Defense number 38 did not give the receiver an opportunity to become a runner. It is a penalty half the distance to the goal. Automatic first down.
That's on Deshaun Goldson, who has been guilty of some illegal hits or hits that have been punished this season.
Well, and Deshaun, you know what? To me, again, you look at the shoulder pad that actually hits Jerron Brown's chest. The angles are everything that they're looking for. It's just so hard for this officiating crew to determine where, with a face mask, where does the helmet hit. But let me go back to Jerron Brown. What an impressive grab and feet toe-tapping grab at the end there.
Here's first and goal for Arizona, just inside the 10. Richard Mendenhall is stopped. Fights his way forward. He was stopped in the backfield by Dakota Watson, but he busted loose. We've got an update coming your way. Here's Kurt Menefee.
Actually, it's a reminder that whenever your game is done, Peyton Manning and the Broncos will take on the Philadelphia Eagles in America's Game of the Week. We'll see if Peyton can keep putting up those high-flying, record-setting numbers when you guys are finished there in Tampa. Sam and Heath.
Thanks, Kurt. Should be a heck of a game. Philadelphia Eagles with their offense, with Michael Vick, with Sean McCoy. But right here, Arizona Cardinals trying to finish off a great comeback.
Yep.
A minute 43 to go in the fourth quarter. The game tied, and it's second and goal at the 7-yard line.
And it's a simple game plan from here, partner. There's two timeouts left for Tampa Bay. It's second down here from the 7. You run it on second, force them to use another timeout. Run it on third, make them use their last timeout, kick the field goal to go ahead, see if your rookie quarterback can lead you from behind to get a victory.
3 tight ends in for Arizona. Richard Mendenhall goes outside. Rivas trying to stop him, rides him out of bounds. Good play by Darrelle Revis.
It's an amazing play by Darrelle Revis, but Richard Mendenhall, I'm trying to see if they have wound this clock or not, or if they blew him down before he went out of bounds. But every veteran running back should know you don't go out of bounds down here. You force the opportunity to make Tampa Bay use their timeout, and Revis just rides him out of bounds.
Revis knocked the ball loose, and it went out of bounds.
Second choice timeout of the half. It will be a 30-second timeout.
So the Bucs call a timeout.
Which, in my opinion, Richard got lucky on that because they easily could have ruled him out of bounds and saved Greg Schiano a timeout. Those details of Bruce Arians that been preaching to this team of the little thing that has put them in the position that they're in at 1 and 2.
Bucs have 1 timeout remaining. Arizona has 1 timeout remaining. It's a 3rd and goal. Obviously, field goal wise, it's a chip shot for Arizona, but they would like to put 7 on the board. All right, the Cardinals, what do you look for here?
Well, you know what? If I'm the head coach, which I'm not, I'm running this ball. I'm forcing Tampa Bay to use their last timeout. Kick a field goal with Jay Feely, which is a chip shot here for your veteran kicker. And then kick the ball deep. Give your rookie quarterback from Tampa Bay a minute 20. No timeout to see if he can go the distance.
3 tight ends in the game. And Palmer just goes to the middle of the field and falls down to set up the field goal. And Tampa Bay uses their last timeout.
I love what Bruce Arians done. There's an aggressive side to, I think, every play calling, offensive play calling head coach that you want 7 points, but this is where you manage the game. Who are you playing on the flip side? And that's Mike Glennon, a rookie quarterback who in a crucial position of this game threw the ball to Patrick Peterson, trying to get it to Vincent, and the rest was history.
27-yard field goal try straight away. Dave Zastudil is the holder. Jay Feely 6 for 7 this season. It's been a long time for the Cardinals winning on the road, but there's still a minute 33 on the clock as the Cardinals try to take the lead for the first time in the game. Mike Leach is the long snapper. Feely in his hometown puts it through, and the Arizona Cardinals have the lead for the first time in the game. A 27-yard field goal for Jay Feely.
I'm not sure how much more happier Bruce Arians could be that they just went ahead. This offense is 1 of 11 on 3rd down. Haven't been able to run the ball very well. Had some blown opportunities in the red zone. Carson Palmer, 2 interceptions. Amazing.
And see the players on the sideline. Patrick Peterson made the big interception. He's feeling that his team is in the lead. That's a good feeling. That's the excitement of the kicker, Jay Feely. However, they had a chance to put 7 on the board. They had the ball at the 13-yard line and didn't get it in. Will that come back to haunt them?
Well, I would have done the same thing if I was Bruce Arians, but we are getting ready to see. Mike Glennon, crucial interception in the last drive. Patrick Peterson jumped in front of Vincent Jackson. Playing with fire when you're messing with 21.
Arizona with 13 points here in the 4th quarter. Tampa Bay has not scored in the second half. Jeff Demps is deep to receive the kick from Feely. Feely puts everything in it. Demps stays in the end zone. Minute 29 to go. And Tampa Bay is out of timeouts. Well, I wonder if Mike Glennon visualized this moment when he was playing Troy Aikman in front of his house and throwing with his brother Sean, who was a quarterback at Virginia Tech, and his dad, who's at the game today. The family is here. And now the big opportunity for the rookie Mike Glennon from the 20. Looking, throwing, incomplete. Try to get it to the tight end, Tim Wright.
Todd Bowles, the defensive coordinator for the Arizona Cardinals, does not blink. Still man coverage. They still send 6, trying to get to the rookie quarterback. Highly impressed how they've just stuck with their game plan despite early on in this game they were giving up some yardage that they didn't like. Todd Bowles has maintained his consistency, and this defense has risen to the occasion.
Glennon 7 for 16 in the second half. Has time, throws and completes it to Tim Wright, the tight end, up to the 32-yard line of first down.
They're going to have to hurry. Yep, Tim wasn't able to get out of bounds, and let's see how Mike can handle this situation here in the no huddle in his last minute and a half of this game here.
Up at the 33. Everybody out. Glennon gets time. Waits for someone to come open. Finally he does. That's Kevin Ogletree. He's out of bounds at the 41-yard line. A couple of yards short of the first down. Just under a minute to go in the fourth quarter. A 2nd and 2 for the Bucs.
John Abraham was breathing down Mike Glennon's neck on that last pass. John has played a lot more than he was supposed to today because of injuries to this defense, and this defensive front has been spectacular for Arizona Cardinals.
They need about 18 more yards to get into position to kick a tying field goal. Glennon hit as he throws, intercepted by Patrick Peterson, and he goes to the ground. Patrick Peterson comes up huge in the fourth quarter with 2 interceptions. And the Arizona Cardinals have come back to take this game away from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Pressure again. I have praised this defensive line all day long. They have been the constant. A big hit, an absolute smashing hit by Frosty Rucker. Prime time. And then an inherent throw. It goes high. Our playmaker, Patrick Peterson. You see the sitting in a zone. You see the safety, Tyrann Mathieu coming over the top. Vincent Jackson trying to get it. John Abraham back in coverage. John Abraham's done it all today. And then Patrick Peterson, your man, Sam.
That's it.
What a special day, special ending for him.
He came up with 2 interceptions, one that led to the winning field goal. And right here, the Arizona Cardinals about to end that 9-game road losing streak, which is the longest active losing streak in the NFL. And looking to go 2-2. Very important in their race in the NFC West. Tampa Bay Buccaneers will drop to 0-4. And the rookie Mike Glennon, who looked so good in the first half, came back to earth in the second half. He made some rookie mistakes.
And we see the Greg Schiano way here, 2 plays in a row at the end. We remember last year.
Trying to go underneath.
Trying to get to the passer when they're kneeling it out. We'll see what Bruce Arians, yeah.
Just a quick handshake, that's all.
They're ready to get back on that plane and head west.
The Cardinals ready to get home. They come back with 13 points in the fourth quarter. NFL debut for Mike Glennon. Mixed reviews. Good in the first half, mistakes in the second half. Cardinals beat the Bucs 13-10. We go.